Let us all keep rising for the national anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल गंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उज्जल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मागे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
सुश्रुषा श्रवण ग्रहण धारण विज्ञान हो
The desire and determination. A very good morning to one and all. Futuristic trends and challenges to B schools.
We are delighted to extend a cordial welcome to you all on behalf of Balaji Institute of Technology and Management, a proud constituent of Sri Balaji University, Pune.
The Sanskrit word Anweshanam means exploration or research about reality. It embodies the core principles of knowledge, creativity, art, and innovation. As BITM students, we pledge our steadfast commitment to lifelong learning and self-improvement, no matter the obstacles we encounter along the way.
The principle of self-determination is vital to our journey. It personifies the ability to make informed choices, develop effective problem-solving skills, and assume full responsibility for one's own life. As we gather here today to embark on this significant occasion, it is our cherished tradition to begin by evoking the blessing of wisdom and enlightenment.
To mark the commencement of this event, we kindly request all the dignitaries to come forward to light the ceremonial lamp and give offerings to our Bala sir to officially inaugurate the event.
गणनायकाय गणदैवताय गणाध्यक्षाय धीमहि गुणशरीराय गुणमण्डिताय गुणेशानाय धीमहि गुणातीताय गुणाधीशाय गुणप्रविष्टाय धीमहि एकदन्ताय वक्रतुण्डाय गौरीतनयाय धीमहि गजेशानाय भालचन्द्राय श्रीगणेशाय धीमहि
एकदन्ताय वक्रतुण्डाय गौरीतनयाय धीमहि गजेशानाय भालचन्द्राय श्रीगणेशाय धीमहि
On this occasion, I, Khushi Bhargav, Student Manager, BITM, intern at Amul GCMMF.
And I, Rohit Nair, Student Manager, BITM, interned at Aditya Birla Capital, are honored to be the Masters of Ceremony for Business Conclave Anweshanam 3.0.
I take great privilege to welcome our chief guest, Mr. Nilesh Beniwale, Managing Director, India Operations Pattern, who has decided to grace us with his valuable time and knowledge. I would also like to welcome Honorable Chancellor, Shri Balaji University, Professor P. Paramanandan Balasubramanian Sir, Vice Chancellor Dr. G.K. Shudra Sir, Deans, Directors, Deputy Directors, faculty members, and all our fellow student manager. Thank you all for gracing us with your presence.
On this auspicious occasion, we fondly remember our founder chancellor, Professor Dr. Colonel A. Balasubramanian Sir, lovingly called as Bala Sir. He was a person who had the magic to make everything possible, a person who was very humble and cared for his students more than anyone else. His door was always open for his students. He believed in the mantra, problems are opportunities. He said that our efforts and focus should not be on the problem, but in dealing with the problem to create an opportunity out of it. This business beat is one such example on how to transform a problem into an opportunity.
Balaji Institute of Technology and Management is a name in education and is home to some of the best business schools in Pune. Discipline, dedication, and determination are the three major cardinal values that serve as a foundation of SBUP and BITM. As proudly said by our founder, BITM means winners, BITM means victory, BITM means growth, BITM means great corporate career. At BITM, we believe that growth is not just academic, but personal and professional. Our focus is to shape not only capable managers, but visionary leaders who are prepared for a great corporate career. BITM is proud of its sister institutes, which are Balaji Institute of Modern Management, BIMM, Balaji Institute of International Business, BIIB, Balaji Institute of Management and Human Resource Development, BIMHRD. Thanks to our 20,000 plus alumni who are spread across the globe and are bringing honor to our university. Our university has a stellar reputation in the corporate sector. According to the Times of India B School Survey 2023, our university is among the top 12 B school in India, the fourth ranked private university in the country, and one of the top 2 B school in Pune, and among the top 4 B school in the West.
We would like to start the event by awarding the students who have maintained 100% attendance throughout the year. I would like to invite our chief guest, Mr. Nilesh Biniwale sir, to present the certificates to Mr. Kamal Kant, Student Manager, BITM. Ms. Dia Joseph, Student Manager, BITM. Mr. Nishant Raj Singh, Student Manager, BITM. May I now request our Vice Chancellor, Dr. G.K. Shirude sir, to welcome Mr. Nilesh Biniwale with a bouquet of flowers. We would now like to call upon Dr. Sanjeet Kumar Das, sir, Director, BITM, for the welcome address.
Thank you. Respected Chancellor, sir, Professor B. Paramanandan, esteemed Vice Chancellor, sir, Dr. G.K. Sirude, Dean, Dr. Biju Pillai, sir, all the esteemed directors, deputy directors, faculty and student managers. On behalf of C. Balaji University, Pune, and on behalf of BITM, I welcome Mr. Nilesh Viniwale, MD, India Operations at Patton. Sir, welcome, sir. Thank you. Thank you for accepting our invitation. Just to mention that many times we say that once you have accepted something, you should be there. So that is the best example sir has said. For your information, sir has reached Pune from an event. He was in another international conference at Hyderabad and he reached Pune at night 3 a.m. today, and he is here. Thank you again very much, sir. So now, I'll take 2-3 minutes. Like the world is changing very fast, India also equally changing. But the main thing is about innovation. I still remember the statement given by Peter F. Drucker, the father of management, that business has two basic functions, marketing and innovation. Marketing and innovation produce result, rest all are cost. But the problem is, we are manufacturing a lot of products that is better than the other country, but the problem is about the mindset. Rather, we accept the other country's product and we give lot of our loyalty towards the other products than the Indian. So my request that we should learn that and respect our Indian products. Now, like another message I want to give to you, recently we have a FDP where we have invited Professor Anand Jaiswal, Professor of Marketing of IIM Ahmedabad, for a case study. And during discussion, he said that once he asked a student after completion of MBA from IIM Ahmedabad that what you have learned. He said the only learning I had is that always you have to learn. Learning is continuous. And now it reminds me about our founder Bala sir. Bala sir always say that these kind of events are festival of knowledge. So today, sir, for your information, we have 6 speakers, and for both the days there are 12 speakers from industry. So like Nilesh Viniwale sir is the chief guest, then followed by our Arvind Warrior sir, who is the lead people and culture Volvo India. Then Sushant Mathur sir, he is the director of product management Sabre India. Then Priyank Bajpayee sir, who is the vice president, head talent acquisition South Asia for MasterCard. Then Dhitiman Chakravarti, director operations of Ingram Micro. And the last speaker, he is our own Mr. Pritesh Sapriya sir, who is the associate director, TMT practice, insights and advisory, eValue sir. Again, I have to mention about Pritesh sir that from here he is directly going for a meeting in Singapore, and he didn't mind but to spend time with his alma mater. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you for coming here. So God bless you. Over to you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We would now like to call upon Dr. Biju G. Pillai, Dean Faculty of Management and Senior Director, IT and Admissions, Director, BIIB, for the audience address.
Respected Vice Chancellor, Dr. G.K. Shude sir, Chancellor Anand, Chief Guest, my dear friends, 100% attendance. Today, 3 people have got their 100% attendance. 100% attendance means they have not missed not even a single day, not even a single minute late. Now, just 2 days before, a recommendation has come to my table, an application with a recommendation written by Professor Vikas Nam Joshi. In that it is written, there is a student who was attending the classes 100% for last so many months, but unfortunately, one lecture he was late for 5 minutes because of the during the lunch break he couldn't take food in time. I have forwarded that to eligibility department just to find out whether this claim is correct or not, and I found it was a correct claim. Now there is a big difference between 99.99 and 100%. What is the difference between 99.99 and 100%? People may say, no, that's a big difference. There is no difference between 99 and 98, but 100% is 100%. Then what I did, I made a comment on that and I written that first time, only for this time, we'll accept that request, and I signed that he should be given attendance. Otherwise, in Balaji Society or Balaji University for that matter, we never give attendance if a single minute is also late. So that's a very important milestone. Now, friends, the name of this is Anweshanam. Anweshanam means exploration, search, inspection, etc. Now, when you are here, not only the name, you must ask questions. And while going back, you must carry something. And you should have a notebook and a pen, and you must write notes. Getting an appointment for all these people, it is very difficult. Pre-pandemic, I used to go to at least around 90 days. Even for that matter, till that time, Bala sir also used to visit. Such a senior person, 78-year-old, that point of time, he used to go and visit all these companies. So the same case with me as well. Getting an appointment itself is very difficult. It's not that they are arrogant. They don't have time. So here, another 2 days, 6 plus 6, 12 speakers are going to be here. This is a very golden opportunity for you. Whenever I go to the company, whenever I meet the people, whenever they offer a tea, immediately I grab. You know why? Once a tea comes to me, till such time I finish that tea, then control is in my hand. You can't say, why don't you leave this place? So here you are getting exclusive time. Please ask questions. On behalf of Sri Balaji University, I welcome Mr. Nilesh Binivale, Managing Director, India, Patent. And we have another special guest with us. He is Pritesh. Pritesh is our own alumni, passed out from this very own university. I also welcome Pritesh. It gives very immense pleasure to me to welcome our own alumni. And recently, if you notice, our university is 26-year-old, but if recently you notice, most of the functions, we are getting our own alumni, and they are into very, very senior position. So mark my words, one day you will also be like this, sitting in this dais and addressing the then juniors. I wish all the very best to VITM. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Now we would like to request our Vice Chancellor, Dr. G.K. Shirude, sir, to address the gathering.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. All of you are comfortable? I could not find out some of you, you are sitting in this auditorium, but your mind is flying somewhere else. So Biju has mentioned just now, this is the golden opportunity. Then make it more golden. Convert it in the form of platinum, so that you will be certainly taking certain things in your mind, particularly at this span of your life. Having said this, I remember the blessings of our founder president, founder chancellor, Professor Dr. Karnali Balasubramaniam, with a very deep respect, very deep sense of gratitude. We all call him as a Bala sir. The present chancellor, very young, a visionary, dynamic, very down to the earth, Professor B. Paramanandan, Director and Dean, Dr. Biju Pillai, my close associate since more than 2.5 decades. We are having the Director BITM, very popular among students because he sings very well and teach very seriously. Dr. Sanjit Das, the Deputy Director Rajeshwari, then Dr. Vikas Nam Joshi, Dr. Vikas Nam Joshi, the Director BIMM, okay, and all my senior faculties. And certainly it gives me immense proud pleasure, a lot of happiness to welcome the chief guest of today's function. I will say honorable, though he is very young, younger to me also, but he is honorable by his position, by his experience, and by his contribution in corporates. That is Nilesh Biniwale. And then our own alumni reached at a very peak, but again, having a very deep association with Sri Balaji University, Pune, 2010-12 batch, Pritesh Saparia, a very warm welcome to all of you. And now give big hands to the Chancellor, Professor Anand. This 2 days business conclave, as very specifically mentioned by Dr. Sanjit Das, this is the festival of knowledge. And this business conclave, which is titled as the futuristic trends and challenges to business schools. Business schools are always having challenges, but we never considered it as challenges. Bala sir always says these are the opportunities to us to nurture these young minds and keep them on a right track. Please remember that higher education institutions in India, particularly management institutions, engineering, pharmacy, agro-business, and even up to some extent the medical facility also, they play very pivotal role in 3 aspects. First aspect is socio-economic transformation. These are the agents. These are the institutions where we can find out social transformation take place. Second aspect that is related with techno-innovations. And these techniques and technical futuristic trends, unless you get acquainted with this, success seems to be difficult. And the third aspect, that is the development of human capital. And that occupies a very significant position as far as the development of your individual, your family, your nation, and institutions also. Whenever we talk about the future, then it is sort of forecasting. But if we learn, observe, and understand the present happenings, then you can rightly forecast about the future trends. And whenever we talk about the future trends, then change, challenges, and opportunities, they are always associated with each other. And that is a new pathway to the life. The whole gamut of demand supply dynamics is closely associated with these changes. And therefore, change is the part of life. One should know and understand the emerging trends in new techniques and strategies related with the contemporary innovations, disruptive technologies for which you are accustomed. These are many times the buzzwords, the data simulation, data mining, data harmonization, and latest that is related with that, which has created lot of opportunities and confusion in our mind, that is AI, artificial intelligence, machine learning, IoT is very common, virtual reality, and the blockchain. Namely, all such type of the trends, the technological changes, once you get accustomed with that, then it is easy to walk. But if you find it, these are some of the obstacles in respect of learning, then these obstacles will be the basic hurdles in your life. And therefore, you have to take a lot of precaution related with this. So let us change our thought process. Let us change the different type of the attitudes and mindsets towards the positive attitude. And once you do that, then acceptance is one part, most important part in business trends, that is adaptability. So accept it, adopt it timely, and then you will find out that this is an easy path to achieve the dreams which you are having. Whenever I use the word adaptability, what exactly it means? Adaptability means not only understanding what is going to happen, what is happening, but it is something much behind that. You understand, you think, and you adopt. And while adopting, you are learning. And whenever you learn, the failure will be there. Initially, failure is there. But failure is the first step as far as the success is concerned. Remember the Chandrayaan 2. While landing on the moon, very close to the moon, it could not land as per expectations. And then all scientists, the space researchers, they have not considered it as the failure. They said this is the success as far as Chandrayaan 3 is concerned. And this is what exactly the business trends and technology is concerned. So we have to consider all these type of the happenings in the day-to-day world. One thought which I liked it more, and I share it with you, and this quote is very impressive quote. One who sees the invisible, feels like intangible and achieves the impossible. It is very similar to Aap Dipo Bhava. What it means? It means the by your own light. Means you have your own shine if you get accustomed with these futuristic trends. Today we are having the Nilesh with us. Binimale is the surname which always conquers, Try to remember, even at the time of front side of the war, front side of the business, front side of accepting the challenges, finding out the solutions, that Bini word which is going to be used. And that's why he is a Nilesh Binimale. So most welcome. And be comfortable with Shri Balaji University, Pune. With this introductory note, once again, I wish you that this is the first time you are coming in the campus. But the first time means well beginning. Okay? You have to come again and again. Okay? Thank you.
We would now like to call upon Professor B. Parmanandan Balasubramanian Sir, Chancellor Shri Balaji University, Pune, for the welcome address.
A very good morning to all of you. वहाँ पे सब लोग को लगता है ब्रेकफास्ट नहीं मिला. A very good morning to all of you. पीछे बैठने में अच्छा लगता है ना? So I remember रात को मेरे को नींद तो आ रही थी, but मैं सो नहीं पा रहा था क्योंकि मैं जरा जगा हुआ था. आप लोग के जैसा मैं भी फ़ोन में लगा हुआ था, you know. Normally लोग फ़ोन में क्या करते हैं? पटली कल क्या कर रहे होगा आदमी? So India में ना, you are doing MBA, remember, India mein the sales season has been kicked off. So all the companies which wants to sell, they're gonna sell and they'll make money for next 2 months. क्योंकि 2 महीने के बाद क्या होगा? 2 महीने नहीं, 1.5 महीने के बाद क्या होने वाला है? दिवाली is coming, right? So दिवाली से पहले Indians लोग बहुत shopping करते हैं. And as business managers, remember this is an opportunity to understand कि all the companies are working overtime now. So Flipkart में अगर जो भी वहाँ पे employee होगा, he'll be working till 2 o'clock, 4 o'clock, just looking at the kind of money which you are making and kind of money which they are making and you are spending. So, so yesterday I remember Flipkart sale was on and I was looking at the iPhone price because my son was saying, एक iPhone का sale अच्छा हो रहा है, you know. Indirectly he's saying that I should buy it. But I was also thinking whether to buy it or not. So we live in two kind of world. One is a real world and one is a virtual world. What is the real world? You are here. Now, in the other audio, you know, the speaker who's there, he's from Italy and he was mentioning that he has traveled to 115 countries. And he has been trying and living and trying to do things as per of his own thing. So in real world, we cannot do a lot of things as we want to, because the major problem is कि आपके पॉकेट में क्या है. अगर आपके पॉकेट में वॉलेट है, वॉलेट में कार्ड है या फिर पैसा है तो अच्छा लगता है. अगर वॉलेट खाली है तो क्या होगा? कुछ नहीं होता. So आप लोग को भी अपना वॉलेट भरना है, right? That is the first problem which you are facing. So virtual world में क्या होता है? We dream. मुझे सपने होते हैं, मेरा भी वॉलेट अच्छा होना चाहिए, मेरे पास भी क्रेडिट कार्ड अच्छा होना चाहिए, उसमें भी अनलिमिटेड हुआ तो और भी अच्छा होता है, नो. और खर्च के और बिल नहीं आएगा तो और अच्छा होता है. वैसा होता नहीं है जेंट्स लोग के साथ, वो लेडीज लोग के साथ हो सकता है. But that is also real world, remember. So men work because they want to earn for themselves and they earn for the ladies. The ladies earn because they actually earn for themselves also and they care for others also. But remember, real world and virtual world. What is the virtual world? You want to do well, you have a lot of dreams, but dreams are not reality. So focus on what you want to do. This next 2 days sessions, again, we have been trying to do a lot of sessions for you to make sure that you come and listen to a lot of speakers. We are trying to get all kind of speakers from different walk of life. The whole idea is what? That you should learn and understand what they are doing. They have all gone through their own struggles. They have their own failures also. Try to figure out what exactly you can learn from them, because that is what you also want to do in your life. Life is also about knowing where you are going and whether you are going to the right path or not. It's not easy. So basic question is time management. Basic question is also what to do with the time. When you make money, that is one issue. How to spend money, that's another issue. And how to save some amount of money for future, that is another bigger issue. So at our age, you know, like somebody was mentioning in that other audio, you know, generation Z आप लोग हो, लेकिन हम तो उससे भी पहले का generation है. तो हमारे वॉलेट में पैसा रहता है तो हम लोग फ्लिपकार्ट सेल का वेट करते हैं. We go to malls and we spend money also. आपका generation आएगा वो अलग करेगा. But you know, there was another challenge which I was facing some days back. You know, बॉम्बे में एक इवेंट हो रहा है जनवरी में, आपको पता है, right? Yeah. So मेरे बेटे ने बोला टिकट चाहिए मुझे. बोल तो दे दिया उसने मेरे गले में डाल दिया. So I was trying to get a ticket, मैं तो लॉग इन नहीं कर पाया, क्या टिकट लेगा मैं. Everybody was smart enough. I don't know, some people were smart enough to buy those tickets. So I had to buy the ticket also. I bought one ticket at least. And so I bought the ticket from a kid. And I had to pay almost 6 times more money than what he bought for. So who's smarter? The kid, right? So we say that we are smarter. Remember, the next generation is also smarter. So there are people who are smarter than you. Remember this. The question is whether you can become smarter or not. Problems are opportunity, we say. So some people are smart enough to use the opportunities. So focus on that. So real world, virtual world. There is always a difference. You need to live your dream. That is going to be real if you work on it. Thanks. And sir, Nilesh sir, please, my heartfelt gratitude to you too for coming here. The students are actually in the second year. They are always looking forward to join the corporate world. वहाँ तो आपको पता है इतना भी exciting है भी और नहीं भी है, you know. अच्छे बॉस मिल गए तो अच्छा है, नहीं मिले तो और भी अच्छा है कि सीखने के लिए अच्छा मिलता है. All the best.
Thank you, sir. May I now request Somil Gaur, Student Manager, BITM, to introduce our Chief Guest, Mr. Nilesh Biniwale, sir.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I, Somil Gaur, Student Manager from Balaji Institute of Technology and Management, interned at TESCOM. It is my great pleasure to introduce to our esteemed Chief Guest, Mr. Nilesh Biniwale, sir, Managing Director, India Operations Pattern. He is a leader and visionary in the technology space with deep expertise in product lifecycle management. He serves as a Managing Director, Vice President of Engineering Pattern. In this role, he has successfully scaled the team from just 20 to 400 across multiple regions, including the US, Australia, MENA, which stand for Middle East and North Africa, and Europe. He has built strong engineering and AI teams while also fostering a culture of innovation, empowerment, and continuous improvement. His leadership in establishing a robust talent pipeline, collaborating with top institutions like IITs and IIMs. His remarkable and his focus on employee satisfaction and growth has been key to his success. Prior to this, he led support operations for enterprise and cloud-based healthcare products at Allscripts, overseeing a 150-member team to ensure 24/7 support. He also developed a DevOps strategy that transformed the flagship product through automation and defect prevention. Earlier in his career at Microsoft, he contributed significantly by improving support satisfaction for SharePoint and driving readiness for the launch of Office 365. His contributions have consistently brought value through forward-thinking, collaborative efforts across global teams. Throughout his impressive career, he has demonstrated a passion for technology, leadership, and building high-performing teams. He has excelled in driving agile and DevOps transformations, leading impactful projects, and fostering a culture of empowerment and growth. It is an honor to welcome such an innovative and accomplished leader here today. Please join me in giving a warm welcome to Mr. Nilesh Biniwale, sir, with a huge round of applause.
Good morning, guys. Is this the maximum voice that you can give me? Good morning. That sounds better. Can you hear me, all of you? I'm audible in the last row? I envy you guys in the last row. You can listen to me or you can sleep. That's your choice. Okay. I would like to thank everyone who was sitting out here to invite me to be your college, in spite of me not being alumni. So I'm so proud that you are here. It's always good to come back to your college. That's great. Before I start anything and I talk, let me tell you something. I'm not used to stand in front of a mic and speak. My bad. That's the reason I'm going to move around and speak. I hope you guys are okay with that. Perfect. Sounds great. So we are going to hear me for next 45 minutes, and then we will have question answer session. Try to ensure that I stop at 45 minutes. That's what I generally don't do. And I'll tell you why I don't do that. I'm going to talk about some very small story, and that is about my company right now, Pattern. Last year, in 2023, we were 85 people in Pattern India. Pattern India was supposed to be only the engineering firm, and maximum number of people that we were supposed to have was 110. So we were just short of 25 more people, and I had the opening of 17 more people to hire that year and 10 more people the next year. And I was all okay with it. Life was all settled down. Hiring 17 people for a year was not a big deal. And something happened in March 2025. I was supposed to be 110 today in Pattern India. Right now, I'm 412. Suddenly, the numbers changed. By end of January, Pattern India would be 776 people. And what changed? In March 2023, my CEO came to India. CEO of Pattern came to India. He looked at India, and the biggest differentiator was I took him to 2 to 3 different colleges. He spoke with the students. He interacted with them. He saw them. After he came back to Pattern office, he told me, Nilesh, I'm going to close all the other offices in the world. We had it at Serbia, Philippines, and few other places. And he said, I want to move everything to India. Can you hire? And I said, yes, I can hire. He said, the kind of talent that I have seen in one room, I have never seen that much talent in my whole life. So I want to thank you all for getting my company to India. Clap for yourself. This is the differentiator that India is making for the world. There are 700 companies which are coming to India every year. Out of that, 235 companies are coming to Pune every year. The biggest differentiator for this success is you. So most important people sitting in this room are you. Thank you so much. Does it make sense? Perfect, sounds good. Now, before I start talking about anything, I'm going to talk about myself. I'm going to introduce myself. The guy who did an awesome job, I don't have to say anything. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect my experience to my feelings, and I'm going to talk with you. Basically, what I'm going to talk with you today is how I built my career. If you want to take something out of that, that would be great. So, to begin with, I joined Pattern in June 2021. Pattern had only 20 people at that time. And out of those 20 people, 17 I had interviewed even before joining Pattern. They had requested me to really interview those people before that. Company was $500 million. I hope you understand $500 million. Million is 10 lakhs. So it is $10 lakh and multiplied by 50. So we were, $500 million. So when they came to me that would you like to join Pattern, my answer was no. I don't want to join Pattern. I said, no, I'm not going to. But because this request had come to me through one of my friend, I said, I'll talk. मैं बात करूँगा आपसे. But I am not going to join. So you decide that do you want to talk with me or not. They said, let's talk, and then we will see. And why I was not interested to join Pattern was, I was working for a company called Schlumberger. How many of you know Schlumberger? Oh, that's nice. Good. Very few people know Schlumberger. Schlumberger is a Fortune 500 company for 100 years. It has got offices in 85 different countries. It has got 1 lakh plus people working for them. It is $350 billion company. 1 billion is 1,000 millions. So it is $350 billion company, a big company, and I used to work for them. I had a global role. When I say global role, what does it mean? I had people reporting from 11 different time zones reporting onto me. Anytime I get on the call, they would say good morning to me. It's a good feeling. And I was head of quality, governance, and technology. Being in governance is a powerful role. So I was enjoying my role. And one of the biggest differentiator was that my team budget, because I had cloud with me, my team budget was $625 million. So my team budget was more than valuation of the company. No reason why I should join the company, right? Does it make sense? So I said, no, I'm not going to join the company. I'm not going to join Pattern. Not only Schlumberger, before Schlumberger, I used to work for a company called Allscripts. How many of you know Allscripts? I'm impressed, ma'am. You seem to know all my companies. Nobody generally knows that. Allscripts is the second largest healthcare IT company in US. It has got some very big investors. I think we are recording this, right? I hope you are not going to share this line of mine. One of the biggest investors was Obama. We are not supposed to say this, but I'm going to say it here. He's not going to listen to me. If he listens, I would be more than happy, but he's not going to. So Obama had invested into it, and I was running their flagship product from requirement gathering, product management, software development to, support as well. Before joining Allscripts, I used to work for a company called Microsoft. How many of you know Microsoft? All. This is generally the answer. I used to work for a product called SQL Server and SharePoint. Anybody worked on SharePoint? Yes? I'm so sorry, it's a bad product, guys. I know that. Okay? SQL Server was an amazing product. So I worked for Microsoft for 6 to 7 years, and it is wonderful experience. I don't think so there's any other company better than Microsoft for people management. And I can talk about it for 2 days consecutively, but that would be some other time. Before joining Microsoft, I used to work for a company called Digital Group, which was in Hinjewadi. It was a service-based company. I worked with them for 2 years. Before that, I used to work for a company called ImagePoint. ImagePoint was started by CDAC people. CDAC, you know? Fantastic. What do you know about CDAC? First computer, somebody said supercomputer. Fantastic. I'm going to tell you the story about supercomputer. How many of you know the story of supercomputer here? Oh, there are a few people who know. Okay. Don't nudge her. She may be knowing it, right? Okay. So I'm going to tell the story of supercomputer. In 1984, our weather department wanted a supercomputer. When we needed a supercomputer, the weather department went to Sam Petroda, who was our IT secretary. Nothing called IT was there. It was telecommunication and something, but now it is IT. They went to Sam Petroda and said that we need a supercomputer. Rajiv Gandhi was our prime minister. Sam went to Rajiv Gandhi. Rajiv Gandhi, as normal, everybody we used to do at that time, we went to America. We said, America, give us supercomputer, we need one. Normal, nothing different. America declined. They denied it. And do you know why they denied it? They said you can't use it. आप में उसे चलाने की समझ या अकल नहीं है. They declined us a supercomputer. Rajiv Gandhi came back. He was angry. Are you angry with that line? Yeah. When we have a national anthem to begin with, we should be angry with this line. Rajiv Gandhi was angry. He came back. He told to Sam. Sam was angry. But Sam didn't remain angry. He said, we need to give answer to them. So Sam built a team together, and he put Dr. Vijay Bhatkar as head of that particular team. This team built, and this team was supposed to build something which was supercomputer, and in next 2.5 years' time, this team built a supercomputer, and this supercomputer was 2.5 times faster than any supercomputer in the world. So basically, Americans who said, yes, this is a time when you should clap. Aren't you proud about yourself? So, this is the team which built a supercomputer. The name of the supercomputer was Param. I love you guys. So it was Param. And I have worked with Vijay Bhatkar, sir, in Image Point. Thank you so much. Of course, I've worked with him for 2 days, and I keep on boasting as if I worked with him every day, but 2 days are good enough to work with him. Do you know in which city this supercomputer was made? Anybody said Pune? Come on, guys. It should be Bangalore, right? No, it is Pune. So it was made in Pune, Pune University. That is still kept there. Yes, you should clap if you're proud Punekars. Before working for Image Point, I had my own company for 10 years. Now, don't start imagining my age. Okay? So I used to work for, I had my own company for 10 years. And I started in 1994. Anybody who, leaving the first row, anybody who was born before that or at that time? Okay, fair. So I started my company in 1994, and in 1999, I had a product called as Right Step Ahead. It was an EdTech product. EdTech, any EdTech companies that you know of? Balaji, one of the most famous and one of the most richest EdTech company, Balaji. I started 16 years before Balaji could come in, or any EdTech name could come in. 16 years before that. I had a company called mangalghatika.com, which was on the same lines of shadi.com, 3 years before shadi.com. If it was successful, I would have been sitting in Shark Tank right now, right? But that's okay, it didn't work. So basically I say, my failures are much bigger than my successes in my life. We were a bit ahead of time. But that's okay. With this experience of 27 to 28 years old experience, when Patton comes to me and says, I'm a $500 million company, do you want to join it? No, right? So I decided, no, I'm not going to join them. Then we talked about it, and then I was thinking in the back of my mind, why the hell did I leave Microsoft? If I so much boast about how great company Microsoft is, I shouldn't have left it. I should have stuck around with it. Then I got the answer to myself that I would have loved to be with Microsoft in 1985-86. It started in 83. Why 85-86? This was the time when Microsoft was building the products which was impacting the society, impacting the countries, impacting the corporates. The core was built at that time. I would have loved to work with Google in 1992-93. I would have loved to work with Facebook, Meta in 2006-2007. I would have loved to work with WhatsApp in 2013 to 2018. 2013 to 2015. 18 should have been also good because that was the time they was bought by Facebook, so they got a lot of money. But then if I had to work, it had to be 2013 to 2014. Why? Because you should be working at the time when the core product is built. And why is that? Your growth velocity in the corporate life is equally proportional to the growth velocity of the company. And why is that? Because if you have to grow faster, you should be part of decision making. More decisions that you take while you're working, you become more stronger and stronger. I'm not talking about does the decisions are successful or failures. It is important to get opportunity to take the decisions. If you are working in a large company, like when I joined Microsoft in 2006, or right now Infosys, or any of these big companies like Amazon, I would be executing the SOPs that are required. If you think you are talented, and if you think you can take those decisions, and if you think you can make a difference to the world, and if you think you need to build a great career, you should be there at right time at the right place. Most important thing while building the career is right time at the right place. I want to work for Google or I want to work for Microsoft is not the criteria. Is that right thing for you to do at that particular time? And then I started thinking, is Patton right time at the right place? Patton is the fastest growing company in Silicon Slopes. Why it is fastest growing company? Because it's an e-commerce company. What do I mean by e-commerce? E-commerce is a domain. So when I was working for all my previous companies, Schlumberger is in oil and gas. It's a recession-free domain, right? Recession comes in, but people are still going to buy oil. There is a war, Ukraine, Russia, but people are still buying oil. Oil is a recession-free domain. So I wanted to work for a recession-free domain so that I save my career. All scripts was into healthcare. कुछ भी recession आ जाए, लोग बीमार होना बंद नहीं करते. It's a recession-free domain. Microsoft was a technology which was a growing domain. So when I joined Pattern, I wanted to see if this is a growing domain or not, and e-commerce is the fastest growing domain right now. There are multiple examples of this, but I wanted to validate that, and when I joined Microsoft, the richest man in the world at that time was Bill Gates. When I joined Pattern, the richest man in the world at that time was Jeff Bezos. Do you know who Jeff Bezos is? Founder of Amazon. Then the other guy was Jack Ma, second largest or second biggest richest man in the world. Who is Jack Ma? Founder of Alibaba. Alibaba, Amazon are e-commerce companies. So I decided that I would be working in that domain, which is the fastest growing domain. So one of the most important thing is that you should be working right time at the, should I repeat the entire story again because I'm not getting those responses? Right time at? Perfect. So are you going to decide your career doing that? Perfect. So thanks, I think that is what is the introduction about myself. A bit of long introduction, I'm sorry for that, but then 30 years you can't put it in a quick way. I'm going to talk about the next important thing for you to build a career. How many of you think you are talented? Why are you thinking, guys? Why are you thinking? All of you are talented? Absolutely. Everybody who is sitting in this room is completely talented. But I'll tell you something. Talent is the most useless virtue to have right now. Because everybody is talented, right? I'll give you an example of this. Why talent is not that important. All of you guys are young guys. Everybody sitting down, sir, including all of you. So you must have heard two names. Sachin Tendulkar. How many of you have heard the name Sachin Tendulkar? All of you, right? And who has heard the name Vinod Kamli? Most of you. Sorry, you don't love cricket, but I'm going to talk about cricket. So these people, both of them were extremely talented, extremely talented. And according to me, Vinod Kamli was more talented than Sachin Tendulkar. How many of you agree to that? Fantastic. Now, at age of 21, Vinod Kamli was playing a test match and Courtney Walsh bowled him the bounces. Vinod Kamli wanted to answer these bounces by his talent, and he wanted to play those things with his talent and show Courtney Walsh that he can play, and he couldn't play. And Vinod Kamli was dropped from the test cricket as young age of 21. His career got over at young age of 21 in spite of being extremely talented. Now the same case happens with Sachin Tendulkar. Sachin Tendulkar had made 70 centuries, and then to make his 71st century, it was taking him 10 test matches. And then he went back, he looked at it, and then he saw that he was getting out by playing the ball outside the off stump. While playing, his favorite shot through covers for 4. He comes back, he practices, and what he does is, he does not play the cover drive. Guys, cover drive is one of the best shots that Tendulkar does. I'm a huge fan of that, but Mr. Tendulkar for next 5 years does not play a cover drive and goes ahead and makes 100 centuries. This is nothing but ability to fight back from a failure. If if you get failure, how to respond back to that is one of the biggest attitude that you should carry. And if you go in Australian Army, there is one area where if you go, if they want to hire you, they see your CV, and if there is no failure in your CV, they don't hire you, because they think if you face the failure, how are you going to respond back to it? So having a failure is one of the very important things. Of course, more important is how do you overcome that, and that is something that is needed by you. So it is not talent that is going to take you to the last door. Talent is going to open the first door. Your first company you may get because of your talent, but you may not go ahead. It is your ability to fight with your failures. It is your ability, how you conduct yourself when you fail. Remember, Tendulkar did not play his favorite shot for 5 years. He could have been saying to himself, I am Tendulkar. Nobody can get me out. Why the hell should I stop doing that? No, he came back. He did the study. And that is what is the biggest differentiator for people who make great careers. Make sense? Don't answer everything with your talent. Try to answer things with your attitude. Go back, think about it. Now, what do we mean by think back, go about it? And I think sir was also talking about learning, continuous learning, right? I would like to tell you something that is as equal to learning. To build your career, one of the most important things that you need to learn is unlearning. You should unlearn things. Surprising, right? Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you a small story again. How many of you know Eagle has got, can we just get the ACs a bit warmer? Anybody can help with that? This is for entire people who are sitting here, not for me. I'm okay. It's a bit cold, right? Somebody's taking care of it, right? Okay, thanks. Okay, so guys, how many of you know Eagle has got a lifespan of 40 years? It's an average lifespan of 40 years, right? You know that. After 40 years, the eagle dies. Humans have got 75 years average. Eagles have 40 years average. There is one eagle in Mexico, or one species of eagle in Mexico, they live for 80 years. Do you know the story of eagle living for 80 years? Exactly double of their average age. You know the story? Okay, whosoever knows, keep quiet, please. Okay, I'm going to tell to people who don't know. I was waiting for those no's, okay? So, this eagle, after he gets to 38 or 39, the reason they die is because they have got heavy feathers. Their nails outgrow themselves and they are not able to catch the prey, so that they are not able to feed themselves. Their beak turns around and they are not able to catch anybody. So this eagle, it goes up and stands on or sits on a big mountain, plucks all the feathers out of his body, picks all the feathers out of his body, very painful process, plucks nails from his paws, hits the beak on the stone, breaks it, waits for 3 weeks for the beak to regrow, nails to regrow, feathers to come back again, and takes a plunge back into the air and lives for next 40 years. Guys, technology changes every day. If you don't unlearn and if you stick to what you have learned, your lifespan, career lifespan gets reduced. If you don't accept those changes and don't think about relearning yourself again and again, reinventing you again and again, your career will not grow to the level that you want to grow. So please build the ability to unlearn. I'll give you a couple of examples which are more closer to you. There's one gentleman I'm a huge fan of. He has done this again and again, Mr. Amitabh Bachchan. How many of you know that? Yeah, a big example of it. Amir Khan is trying to do that right now. Tendulkar has done that. I have got a lot of examples into corporate life who have done this. I myself have been able to train myself on a regular basis. In fact, I don't know if you know this or not, but there's something called as reverse mentoring. Have you heard that word, reverse mentoring? I have got a mentor who is 20 years younger to me even now. And I ensure that I have 3 mentors every time. One, my peer, who is of same experience of mine, one very senior to me, and one 20 years younger to me. So the second thing is, don't take your talent so seriously. Take your attitude seriously. Once you have learned something, ensure that you are going to unlearn those things. And that is the second thing that I would share with you. Third thing, what I'm going to tell you is one of the third most important thing, and in no sequence. Again, I'm going to tell you a very small story quickly to you. When I was in school, 8th or 9th, I don't exactly remember, my mother used to push me to study maths. Of course, similar story for everyone, right? Either it's a father or a mother. My mother used to push me to study maths. She used to always come and say, you're not studying enough. You need to study more. And like everyone, I should just ignore her. I will give the reasons why not to study. Then the exams came. I gave the exams. And obviously the results was there. But they were not obvious results. I got 96% in maths. I was very happy. I went to my mother, took the mark sheet and just said, look at this. I got 96%. You were just, troubling me for studying. Doko khat hoti maza abhyas karण्यासाठी, but I hope you understand Marathi, most of you, right? And then she looked at me and just ignored. She didn't say anything. I thought she would just say that, okay, good, you got good marks. She said nothing. That day went on. Next day she said nothing. Day after that she said nothing. And every time I used to remind her I got good marks. But she never reacted. On third day, I made her sit and start talking. Very rare thing, right? You get your parents sit in front of you and start talking. I did that, but. And I said, why are you not happy? I got good marks. That's what you wanted. And she said, no, I didn't want that. Now what is going to happen is, you are going to connect the process of not studying to getting good marks. It is result that is not important. It is the process that you followed to get that result is important. If you continue to tell yourself that I can get good marks without studying, your career is doomed here itself. So you getting 96% by not studying is not good. So every time you get any result, good or bad, try to connect with the process and try to change that process. Try to ensure that you fine-tune that process of getting success. If you have got good marks in CET or CAT or whatever exams that you are giving, see what you did to get here. So connecting process to your result is very important things. How many of you remember that great catch by Shiv Kumar Yadav in T20 World Cup final, 30 balls, 30 runs, and there is a change in the match? How many of you remember that? Fantastic. The numbers are not that high, but. Now, amazing catch, right? Fantastic catch. The best catch that I had ever seen after Kapil Dev in 1983. Okay, anyway, I'm not going to talk so back. But then, do you know that Shiv Kumar Yadav, Surya Kumar Yadav, my bad, age gets this impact on you guys. Surya Kumar Yadav, when he took this catch, it was not a surprise. He had gone back to Rohit Sharma and told Rohit Sharma that you put me on the boundary lines on mid-on, long-on, mid-wicket. There are high chances that somebody hits the six and I'm going to take the catch. I need to practice it. So every practice session, he used to practice 150 such situations where he would take the catch. So the process of this thought process that I may get this kind of catch, I practice that, and then I take the catch is the huge differentiator. So there was a process to the result. Fair? And that is what we should be doing. In fact, I don't know how much of cricket that you really see, but this team that we had for T20 or World Cup 50-50 match is a champion team. And there is a huge difference between a champion team and team of champions. Do you get the difference? There can be a team which is full of champions, Tendulkar, Kamli, Ganguly, but it's a team of champions. And there is a champion team. Champion team is they would go beyond and do anything that is required for the team. So when you come into the corporate life and you say, I gave my 100%, that's not enough. Surya Kumar Yadav would have been okay hitting that 50 that he did in the batting. That was his 100%. But he knew that I need to go beyond 100% and perform because my team needs that. So your 100% might not be enough for team to be successful. You have to do what team wants and not your 100%. When you do your 100%, your team of champions doesn't guarantee you winning. So you should stop talking about, I gave my 100%. I don't care. When somebody comes to me in my team and say, I'm giving my 100%, I say, I don't care. You give your 50%, but if that is enough for the team to win, I'm fine. If 300% is required, please do that, because it is important that you contribute in winning of the team, then only people will contribute into your career. You giving 100% is not going to contribute to your career. Fair? Does it make sense? Okay, good. Let me just see what are the other things that I'm going to talk about. So basically what we are saying here is, when you connect process to your result, the approach and the attitude that you should have is you should practice as if you have never won. Practice like you have never won. Perform like you have never lost. And that should be the attitude every time when you are going to build, or you are going to think of building your career. This is Nilesh Biniwalet speaking with you as General Manager for Pattern. It was great talking with you. Thank you very much, guys. I should be sitting here back? Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Now the floor is open for question and answers.
Is it good enough?
Good morning, sir.
Was that good enough?
Good morning, sir. My
Oh,
name
sorry.
is Drishti Jam. I'm from BIM HRD, specializing in PM and HR batch. So firstly, I would like to thank you for the insightful session. You're a great communicator, like we were engaged throughout your session. And my question to you, sir, is we know how important creating your own brand image is. And I would like to know from you that how does Pattern differentiate itself from its competitors? Like how does Pattern has a competitive advantage over others in this market?
Thanks for the question. I really appreciate you coming up with this question. Guys, do you have 2 hours extra right now? Because she's asking me how Pattern differentiates, and I can talk for 2 hours. Okay. So there are differences that we make through, so there are business differences, and there are cultural differences. So let me talk about the business differences first. So what is Pattern doing? Pattern is a very simple company which does sale online. We buy brands and then we sell those products online. When we sell those products online, we charge 15% on top of those products when we sell online. 12% is consumed as cost to serve. 3% is our profit. If we make 4% profit, we give that 1% back to our brands. We call our brands as our partners. Now, why we do that? Because we say they're our partners, we should not try to make money for ourselves, we should try to make money for both of them. We don't call them customers. So whenever we have to work on along with those partners and we have to do something for them, we don't charge anything to them. So we don't look towards our partners of machine to make money, but we look towards them as working together and make money for both of them. And that is the reason from 2013 to right now, we have been able to make the sale of $1.8 billion as of now. So that's a business differentiation. Other bigger differentiation is a cultural differentiation. So our CEO, Dave Wright, believes that he should hire only A+ people. Right now, we have got almost 1,700 or 1,800 people, 23 different offices in the world. He still signs each and every offer letter because he thinks that he's the one who is going to decide on to take the right people. Very difficult to get through from him. Then once he hires the right people, he says, if I hire the right people, I should not be telling them what to do. So I don't know if you know this or not, Pattern USA does not have a leave policy. They don't count how many leaves that you take. You can take a leave for entire year, doesn't matter. In our office in India, I don't know what's the working hours of Pattern India. Can you believe it? I'm the one who should be looking at it कि कौन कितने बजे आता है. I don't even know कि कितने बजे किसने आना चाहिए. We empower people. People are able to take their own decisions. And then the other thing that we culturally do is, we say, because they're all great people that we hire, right? We only hire great people. So we say, we empower you, seek apology, not permission. So if you have to do something, go ahead and do it. If you fail, that's fine. We respect the failure. But don't wait to take permission from someone. So what happens is, everybody is taking quick decisions. They fail, they come back and they do it again. So the space for Pattern has become so good that everybody is able to deliver at much faster pace. So a differentiation in the business model and then the differentiation in the cultural values. Go. Entire playfield is open. Thank you so much.
Good morning, sir.
Morning.
My name is Suresh, and I want to thank you for giving us an introing session. So my question is, how does Pattern customize its services in terms of specific challenges from various global marketplaces?
For that, Suresh, you need to understand what Pattern does. So Pattern signs a brand. For example, let's take Adidas. We sign Adidas and then we clean the Adidas market online for all the shoes. And then we really plan how Adidas will be sold. So we don't give a package to anyone. Every order or every brand that comes is customized. So basically we have a brand management team, we have the entire team who does customized thing for each and every brand. So how we do it, that's our business. Fair? Thanks for the question, Suresh. Have a good day ahead of you. Any more questions, guys? Yeah, last two.
Good morning, sir. My name is Atharva Khole. I'm from Supply Chain and Operations batch, and I did internship at Bosch Chassis Systems. So basically, I am very keen and interested in e-commerce business. So what is the chance that I get hired into Pattern?
Okay. Are you a A+ player?
Not sure, but yes,
You
can
won't
be.
get hired.
I can be.
You can be. Once you are there, come back to me.
Sure, sir.
Okay, now a serious answer to this. Yes, you can get hired. Basically, the whole thing is that we are looking for people who have got good attitude, good approach. Talent is useless for us. Of course, you should be talented, but that doesn't give any guarantee that you would be hired in pattern. But your attitude, your approach, how you are going to work it out is going to be there. I was just talking with your teams that why don't you reach out to my team to invite them for a hiring event here, and we'll work out the logistics. Okay, so there are high chances, but do very good. We only need A+ player.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. I think the guy in front of you also wanted to ask a question. Second from the, no, you don't want to? Okay.
This was indeed a great session. We have certainly benefited from your thoughts and words of wisdom.
May I now request our Vice Chancellor, Dr. G.K. Shirude sir, to felicitate Mr. Biniwale sir with a memento.
See, there is an announcement. There is no break. Immediately will be followed by the next guest. Please settle down. Please sit down.
I am honored to invite Mr. Sushant Mathur, sir, Director of Product Management at Sabre India. Sir is a prominent leader in the financial sector, and it is a matter of great privilege to have him here today. His outstanding contribution to the field of finance are truly remarkable.
May I now request Professor Chaitali Mahesh Dhanwani ma'am, Corporate Relation Officer, BITM, to welcome Mr. Sushant Mathur sir with a bouquet of flowers. To provide a more detailed insight of Mr. Mathur, I would like to invite Sanjana Srivastav, Student Manager, BITM, on the dais.
Thank you, Rohit. Good morning to one and all present here. I am Sanjana Srivastav, Student Manager at Balaji Institute of Technology and Management, Sri Balaji University, Pune, placed at Mahindra Finance. It is my distinct honor to introduce an exceptional leader, Mr. Sushant Mathur, sir, Director Product Management at Sabre India. Sir is an accomplished product leader with an immersive career spanning over 19 years. In his current role as the Director of Product at Sabre, Sir plays an instrumental role in realizing Sabre's strategic vision to build a global B2B marketplace for the travel and hospitality industries, specializing in lodging, hospitality, ground, and tour portfolios. During his incredible 13-year journey with Sabre Travel Technologies, his leadership has been instrumental in creating a comprehensive distribution platform, facilitating seamless searching, comparing and booking experiences for both corporate and leisure travelers. Before joining Sabre, Sir spent 2 years at Oracle as the product owner. Beyond his day job, Sir's commitment to product evangelism is evident from his active engagement in coaching and mentoring young product managers. He has also spoken at several events, engaging large audiences that include both executives and technical staff. In addition to his impressive professional background, Sir holds a PGDBA in marketing from Symbiosis Institute of Management Studies, and he has further enhanced his expertise with an executive program in data-driven product management from the Indian Institute of Management, Lucknow. Beyond the professional realm, he is an aspiring author and a dedicated reader with a keen interest in psychology, travel, and fitness. It is indeed a great honor for us to have Mr. Sushant Mathur sir with us today. Please join me in extending a warm welcome to him as he shares his invaluable insights and experiences with us.
I'll probably be here, and then I can move the slides. Perfect, and we can also have that presentation on the screen. All set, can we go in slideshow mode? Perfect, all right. Good morning, everyone. Hope everybody can hear me, see me. Good morning. So I'm Sushant Mathur. It's pleasure to be here with all of you. I know I am somewhat in between your break. All of you are attending these sessions for a while now, but again, I'll make it very interactive. I'll make it very interesting, I promise, okay? And that's why I have a deck. I remember, or I know all of you are business students, so you love to hearing about use cases, case studies. So I have some real life examples as well to make this session interactive. I know I have an hour. What I'll do is, I'll just quickly talk about certain things when I was talking to some of your student managers yesterday, right? That's how you call each one of you, right? So I was talking to some of your student managers yesterday, and they suggested me that I should probably talk about what are the skills needed for all of you to be ready for the corporate life, right? So is it fair statement? All of you want to know about some of the skills which are needed, because whatever is already there in the books, I'm not going to repeat it. So what I'm going to do is I'll talk about certain tips, certain ideas or suggestions based on my experience. Fair enough? All of you are with me so far? Perfect. So let's see. So I have been working in this industry for almost 20 years now. I did my graduation in 2004, so almost 20 years. So what I'm going to do is, if you see this screen, I'm capturing all the moments, all my experience based on what I learned. Because one thing I realized is that whatever you learn in your college, right, those things will definitely help you. But you also need to have a bit more different. You also have to upskill yourself. You also have to learn certain skills to prepare yourself in your professional life. And also, you have to really learn fast compared to your college or student life. And I'll give you all my personal examples. So I started my career as a software developer, software engineer. First day when I joined my first company, I was talking to one of my friends, because there were around 150 students like me who were placed to this company. And first question I asked my friend that there are 150 of these freshers or software engineers like us, 150 of us. I don't think each one of us will get promoted, or I don't think each one of us will get the similar kind of opportunity, right? I'm sure some of you will have the same question in your mind, because not everybody will get promotion, not everybody will get growth, not everybody will get everything. But then my question to him was, what's the difference? All of us, more or less, we come from the same college, we have similar background, we have similar education level, and maybe let's say similar IQ. That's why we were placed in that college. So what will make me different than remaining 149 of these engineers? So that was my question, and I'm sure all of you can relate to it, because after a point, your academic qualification will help you, but you also need to do something different, something more, which I'm going to share with all of you today. Okay? So let's go. So what are the key skills needed? Again, I'm not a management guru, but these skills are something which are my personal experiences, whatever I have learned, which I'm going to share with all of you. What is skill number one, which I feel is very important? Adaptability and continuous learning. Okay. Now, when I say adaptability, right, I'm referring to things because in today's dynamic environment, things will change very fast, right? You can't assume that, oh, I will work on the same project, or I will work for the same customer, or I'll work in the same domain forever, right? Gone are those days. You will work in a project that will get deprioritized. You will work in a project that will suddenly become company's main project. Suddenly, you will be in the limelight. So you have to be adaptable to all these changing situations. You have to be adaptable to all these changing business needs. So that's number one, right? But how can you do it? You can only do it when you learn, when you continuously learn, when you upskill yourself. So skill number one, even if you are placed in your dream company, what you should do is you should never ever leave this habit of learning things new. You should always try to upskill yourself. You should always try to work on your somewhat weaknesses, but more than that, you should continue to build on your strengths. Very important. So if your strength is talking to customers, after a point, you need to make sure that you are learning something new. Yes. This one is good. Yeah, and after a point, you also have to think about what are my areas where probably I'm not really that good. How can I improve it? For example, if you want to work on your communication skills, I am still a Toastmasters member. It's been a while. I try to attend every Toastmasters meeting because it's not about public speaking or it's not about communication. It's also about learning something which you don't practice every day. Okay, so skill number one, what I highly recommend is adaptability and continuous learning, because these things are really important in today's corporate culture. So all of you, when you join your new company or your dream company, this is something that you should never forget. All right? And if you have any questions, feel free to park them. We'll definitely talk about them once I'm done with my things. This is that example I always share whenever I talk and whenever I meet with someone, right? All of us know Netflix, right? All of us watch it. But Netflix, at some point in time, this is a real picture. They used to sell DVDs, right? All of you know that case study and that history. Now imagine if you were placed in Netflix in 2003 and 4 when they were selling DVDs, and suddenly they decide that no, DVD is not our future. Our future is streaming. Now imagine suddenly from a kind of hardware business, you are moving to completely different domain, which is software. You are building streaming, you are building software, you are going to build something which will be consumed by people using their streaming device. What will you do, right? If you can't say that, oh, my expertise is hardware or my expertise is only in X, Y, and Z. If you are working with Netflix and they decide to pivot or they decide to change their strategy, you have to be adaptable, you have to continuously learn so that you are ready and prepared for that change. So this is one example. So even big companies, they pivot, they change their strategy, and all of you will have to be prepared to know what is required for you to go to the next level. All of you with me so far? Perfect. So let's go to skill number 2. All of you are business students. I don't really need to emphasize a lot on communication and collaboration, but I'll still highlight because things are slightly different when you are in a professional setting. Okay? So when I say communication, I'm not talking about the way you speak English, not at all. Communication is, in professional setting, is completely different ball game altogether, right? Now we are talking about communicating with your customers, communicating with your leaders, communicating with other senior executives. So these are certain things which will require different skill. You can't just go and talk to, let's say, senior executive of XYZ company if you have not done your homework. So you have to do your research. You have to spend lot of time in polishing what are you going to say, how are you going to say, because executives don't have time, right? They don't have time where they can spend 5, 10, 20, 30 minutes with you. Can you articulate whatever you want to within few minutes by clearly highlighting what it is, how it is going to help, or what exactly you are looking for? So these are certain things which you will have to learn. So when I say communication, look beyond general communication, executive communication, effective communication. How will you write emails, right? There are so many formats because I can't write 3-page long email to my executives if something fails. They don't have time for, as I said, reading that entire long email list. They expect what is working, what is not working, and what are you going to do to make that thing work. You have to learn all of this. So when we say communication, be prepared, because the day you join your first company, you never know, maybe you will have to be part of some firefighting activity from day 3 or day 4 onwards. How are you going to make a difference? You are going to make a difference compared to other students from other colleges, part of the same team, when you have effective communication. Collaboration, same thing. You collaborate well within your college, within your friends, but then you will have to collaborate with people from different area, different domain, different experience level, different countries, different culture altogether. How will you learn it? There are a lot of students, I guess, who are doing international business, right? So do we have anybody in the room who's doing masters in international business? We have few, right? Yes. So these are certain things which you will have to learn. How will you learn it? You have to practice it. Different culture, different time zone, different setting. These things nobody is going to teach you. These things you will have to learn on your own. So start practicing, start working on your communication skills, very important. Start focusing on how will you collaborate with somebody who is from different country, different culture. You have to be very, very clear. You have to be very smart in terms of your communication if you want to be a standout performer. Now let's look at another story, very interesting, okay? So I'm from travel background, so you will find some travel related examples as well. Anybody knows which plane, which model is this? Yeah, it's a Dreamliner, so close enough. So when a company like Boeing, when they were manufacturing and building their Dreamliner for the first time, they have different vendors, different companies, and lot of different suppliers who provide them different equipment, different parts, right? They are not a new company, right? They have been in this business for a long, long time. But what happened was their entire project's cost was at least 5 to 10 times high because of communication which was not perfect. Communication which was not really clear enough for all their suppliers to understand what exactly this company is looking for. So sometimes, even if you are working in an accomplished company, you will make mistakes, you will have issues and challenges where if you don't communicate well, you won't really get the right results. So process is important, other things are important, but communication is equally important. So skill number 2, learn communication, learn upward communication as well, where you have to communicate with your leaders, your seniors, your executives. Can you work on building that elevator pitch where you can clearly say that, hey, this is what I do, this is how it's helping my company, so on and so forth, right? Now let's look at skill number 3, creative thinking and EQ, right? All of you know what EQ is, right? But can somebody tell me how to build it? Like, how can I improve my EQ? Any thoughts from anyone? Right, so this is the challenge. Everybody knows about EQ, but nobody really knows how to build it, how to build empathy, right? In product management, in my field, empathy is the biggest thing. Empathize with your customers, empathize with your shareholders, empathize with your product users. But how to build empathy? Nobody teaches you, right? And nobody can teach you, to be honest. You have to understand how to communicate and how to understand others' emotions, right? Sometimes you will work on very time-sensitive projects. Sometimes you will have very crazy deadlines. Sometimes you will have challenges where things are not going well, but you can't communicate in the same way like how you communicate with your friends in your college. In professional life, you have to really see how can I communicate, how can I express my concerns. Even if I have to express my concerns with someone, how can I do it effectively? How can I understand others' point of view? So that's all about EQ, right? Now, creative thinking, same thing. Can anybody answer how to be a creative thinker? Anything that comes to your mind, feel free. So, because I'm also going to ask you questions. It's not just that you are going to ask me, right? So, how to be a creative thinker? Any thoughts from anyone? Okay, and how do you do it? Okay, yeah, good answer. So he's saying by not thinking the obvious, right? So you have to always think out of the box. You always have to think something which is not obvious, but how will you come to it? How will you really think out of the box? You have to be a thinker first. Okay, and when I'm saying thinker, it doesn't mean that you just think and think and think and spend endless hours. You have to build that acumen where you can really look at the problem from different angles. And again, I'm sure in B schools they teach you all those frameworks, all those analysis which you can apply. But creative thinking, believe me, is going to make a big, big difference where you have to provide solutions. You have to look at ideas. You have to do brainstorming. You can only do it well when you really, really have creative thinking mindset. So again, something which is not part of your textbook, but something which is very important for you to succeed in your professional life. Okay? Let me share another example so that all of you are not feeling bored. You know what it is, right? What giant wheel, Ferris wheel, right? So this picture that you see on the screen is world's first Ferris wheel, okay? And there is very interesting story, okay? So in late 80s, Paris hosted World Trade Expo, right? Like any other World Trade Fair. And in that trade fair, they inaugurated, any guesses what? Paris, they inaugurated Eiffel Tower. So Paris, they inaugurated Eiffel Tower. Thousands and thousands of people came to that trade fair because they wanted to experience the Eiffel Tower. They wanted to see Eiffel Tower, and Eiffel Tower was the biggest craze. That event was successful, huge, huge successful event. The next event was in the US, and organizers were not sure what else they can do which is as big as the Eiffel Tower. People were saying, oh, let's build another tall building, or let's build something which is as big, as fancy as Eiffel Tower. But these were all general ideas, right? People were just trying to build what is already there. Then there was a gentleman, his name was Mr. Ferris. So as you can guess, Mr. Ferris thought of using old, you see these boxes, so these are old rail carriages, right? So in rail lines, you have those carriages which they can use to inspect the rail line. He used those old discarded rail carriages. He built this giant steel framework. Believe me or not, this Ferris wheel, when it was launched, it was way, way successful than Eiffel Tower because it was new. People were not really expecting that there can be something in which you can sit and you can get the entire city view very easily. And what was the cost of Ferris wheel compared to Eiffel Tower? Any guesses? Nothing, right? Nothing. So see, sometimes to be a creative thinker, don't always think about the most expensive ideas or the most expensive solutions. Sometimes you can be like Mr. Ferris and build something which can challenge another product, another customer, which has spent millions and millions and millions in building it. Okay, so creative thinking and EQ, so good so far. So now what to expect? So I talked about three things. I'm sure all of you know what those three skills were, right? Now let's talk about what to expect. So I talked about, hey, this is what I expect you to learn. This is what I expect you to know. This is what I expect you to experiment, play. But what to expect? Some of you I know have some corporate experience. Some of you are probably new because you just did your graduation and you joined this college. So what to expect in corporate culture? So I also want to share some examples where how can you also not just prepare and learn those skills, you can also be prepared in terms of what exactly are you going to face when you join a company, okay? Number one, right? So structure versus autonomy. So that's the big difference when you compare your experience in your college life where you can do whatever you want to within those defined rules and guidelines. Same thing you will find in corporate life as well. There will be a defined structure which is needed. There will be certain guidelines, certain rules, certain policies, very well. But in today's time, in today's generations, companies also expect you to be an independent thinker, someone who can run those shows and initiatives without or very less supervision. So this is something I highly, highly recommend you. I have got benefited a lot in my professional life because I always I always raise my hand whenever there was an opportunity to do something different, whether it's running some event, whether it's running something for the company, whether even it's writing articles for my company's PR. Always try to be the person who is willing to try out new things, somebody who can really experiment, somebody who can really be not afraid of those unknowns. So structure will be there, but you don't really need to always go by the books. You can be as creative as you want. You can be independent thinker. You can be somebody who can come up with ideas and execute them on your own, right? All clear so far? Lot of companies, for example, name couple of successful Google products. Just name a few successful products that you think Google has built. Google Maps. Okay, or what else? Gmail. Gmail is, I think all of you have Gmail account. Gmail was not built because Google wanted to build it, right? Gmail was built by one of their employees who experimented with something he wanted to build. So it was not a project, it was a side project by one of the employees. And imagine how successful that project is. Nobody asked him to build an email client. He built it on his own. Google News. All of you read news on Google? Google News was not Google's product which they wanted to build. Google News was built by one of their employees because he used to miss India. He was an Indian employee. He wanted to build something using which he can curate different news articles from different news publications in India so that he can read it. Now, Google News, Gmail, these are some of the most successful products that Google has. If you want to be somebody like those inventors, you have to follow structure, but you also have to be independent thinker and somebody who can execute things. Okay? Now, second thing which is very, very important. Okay? And these are all my personal examples, right? So whatever I have learned in my professional life, these are my personal experiences. Second thing which is highly, highly underrated, but probably this is something which will make a big difference in your career, in your professional life, in your growth. Networking and building relationship. Okay, what do I mean by that? In networking, it's not just about interacting and engaging with your teammates, with your managers or immediate supervisors, so on and so forth. You should also think about what's happening in my company, outside my team, my area, my domain. So you should have business acumen, you should have technical acumen, but organizational acumen is as important as the other two. How can you build it? You can only build when you go and network, when you build your core interactions within your company by talking and reaching out to different folks to just understand, hey, what's happening on the other side of my company? Because if you can't focus, if you can't learn what's happening on the other side, at some point in time, you will feel you have been saturated in terms of what you are doing, what you are delivering, and you want to do something different. That can only happen when you go and network. Second thing is find a mentor. Doesn't matter whether you are a fresher, you have 3 years experience, 5 years experience, or 20 years of experience. Having a mentor from your company obviously helps. You should also have mentors outside your company. But in my career, I probably benefited the most by having mentors who were part of my company, and it was a very mutual relationship. It's not that I was learning. I used to, and I still prepare for my mentorship sessions with my mentors as if I'm working on a formal project. Find a mentor when you join your company. Somebody who is 1 year, 2 year, 3 year seniors, doesn't matter. Find a mentor, because mentorship is really important for you to grow and work on areas where you feel you are not confident enough. Do networking. Whenever you join your company in your corporate life, go and network, go and talk to other people. Run some of those local events like how you have, all of you are running these kind of events. Do it. Believe me, it's going to help you. It's going to help you a lot. Learning from mistakes, right? I was talking about this earlier as well, that you will have a lot of the times professional setbacks. Not everything will go as per the plan. Not every project you will be part of will hit that deadline. Not every project will be delivered within the cost, or not every project will be even delivered. How will you learn from those mistakes? One is you can say, oh, I did my best, I don't care, it's fine, I'll move on to another project, which is fine, a lot of people do it, but then again, if you want to grow in your professional life, you have to understand how to learn from your mistakes. You have to understand how can you always have something for you, whether that project was successful, whether your project was, let's say, not so successful. I won't even call it a failure. So that next time you can contribute, next time you can do better, and that will become your differentiator. So if you want to build that differentiator, you should always focus on how can I learn better, and how can I do my better job whenever I'm part of similar project or different project. That can only happen when you learn from your mistakes, okay? So no matter how big or how small that setback is, you should always be open, you should be always ready to learn from your mistakes, okay? Any questions so far? Please make a note of it, we'll talk about it. So we have covered 2 segments that I wanted to cover so far. One was, what are the key skills needed? So we talked about 3 skills. Then we talked about what to expect. And again, we talked about 3-4 things, because these are certain things you will have to be prepared, you will have to expect. But then, end of the day, all of us in this room, we want to build a career, right? We want to build a career. We want to do something big. We want to do something better, no matter in what capacity, in whatever role. All of us want to build a successful career, right? Yes? Now, how can you do it? So there are several ways. For certain people, you will figure out your career, you will figure out what you are doing, how you are doing over a period of time. But no matter what, this line here, this statement, make a note of it. You have to build your career, but you also have to think about how to build your career with a purpose. That purpose is very important. And don't mix this purpose with passion, right? I'm not talking about your passion. No matter what you are doing, you have to align your passion with your profession. So I can have different passion outside my work. I can also have different hobbies, different interests, that's fine. But whatever you are doing, you have to make sure that you are also aligning your passion with your profession if you want to be that A+ player that Mr. Nilesh was talking about, right? How will you become A+ player? You will become A+ player only when you are giving your 100% to whatever you are doing. But how will you give your 100%? You will only give your 100% when you really, really find something which is interesting. You will really find something which is meaningful for you. Not every job will be interesting. Not every job will be exciting. That's fine. Whatever you are doing, try to understand the why behind it. Try to understand, even if you are doing data entry in a spreadsheet, what is the use of that data? Somebody somewhere must be using that data for something else. I understand at this point in time, my job is to enter that data in the spreadsheet, but who is going to use that data? How that data will be used? You should know it. Be passionate about whatever you are doing. Find your interest, even if you find that job boring, fine. But whatever you are doing, at least on that day, you should understand the passion, you should really understand the interest. Very important, and let me also share a very interesting story, okay? One of my friends, he, again, part of Sabre, he did his MS in information systems. Non-technical guy, he did his bachelor's in commerce. He was from India. Now currently he's based in Dallas. He used to be part of one area, and one day he identified there was some manual processes which used to take a lot of time. He went to one of his developers and said, hey, can you help me with automating this, and we can do this, we can do that, etc., etc. The person said, developer, poor guy, he said, oh, I'm busy, I don't have time for it, I don't think I can work on this one with you. You know that person did? He was non-technical, and I'm sure a lot of you have that non-technical background. He learned Excel, he learned Excel macros, he bought books, he practiced writing macros to automate certain things. After that, he was interested in programming. He learned programming. Within few years, this person is still with Sabre. He now leads the entire technical architecture domain because he figured out his passion was solving problem, removing those inefficiencies, streamlining workflows. If technology is the answer, he said, I'm ready to learn it. From completely non-technical person who did his graduation in commerce, currently, you can Google his name, he leads one of our architecture areas. His job is fully technical. He talks to developers and architects, and believe me, he's one of the best architects that we have in the company because he found his passion. So sometimes, irrespective of your background, irrespective of what your experience, education level is, you can still learn, you can still define and grow your career if you have your heart at the right place, okay? And this is what I wanted to summarize, that opportunities will not happen. Nobody will create opportunities for you in your professional life. Nobody, even your manager, because you have to create them. You have to go and raise your hand and say, hey, I am ready for this role. I have done this. Continuously demonstrate, exhibit those skills. Then only you'll be able to make the career that you want to make. Okay? So that was my talk. I hope you found it useful, and now we have some time for Q&A. So what questions all of you have for me? No questions? Yes.
Good afternoon, sir. My name is Ankur, and I'm from BITM, specialization in marketing. And my question to you, sir, how does Sabre addresses data security and privacy concerns?
Sure. Okay. Great question. Sorry, I did not get your name.
Ankur.
Okay. Yes, Ankush. So, good question. Data privacy, data security, if you see, is one of the main areas when you talk about travel, and I'll simplify it, I'll make it very clear. So when you go and search for your dream destination, what do? You go and you just say, oh, I want to go to, let's say, Singapore, or I want to go to Hong Kong Disneyland. You search, right? You go and perform your search. And what happens? Once you start searching, you will start seeing personalized result. You'll start seeing a lot of recommendations. You'll start seeing a lot of ideas and inspirational results in your search feed everywhere. How does that happen? Because they know that you are interested in going to place A or place B and place C. Because we need your data. So data is important because if I show you something which is not relevant, it's useless for you. However, I cannot use your data without your permission. I cannot use data which I cannot use. So what we do is there are a lot of government regulations, there are a lot of government policies like GDPR, you have PCI, DSS 4.0 and so on and so forth. So what we do is we have to find the right balance in terms of what data can be captured, can be stored. Whatever cannot be captured, cannot be stored, definitely we have to ignore it. And we have to find all the data points around data which is legally allowed to be stored. Also, we have to explicitly highlight and tell to our customers that, hey, this is what we are storing. I'll share another example. So I was in London recently. In London, any website, any site you go and click, every time you have to give your full consent, because if that site is using anything to store your information, every time, every page, every link, you have to give that consent explicitly. If that consent is not there from that specific user, you cannot store anything. So what we do is we follow all those policies, regulations, guidelines. We don't store something which we are not allowed to store. But within whatever can be stored, we try to experiment, we try to personalize. So we follow all those guidelines, nothing fancy there. We follow all those protocols, we follow all those checks and measures. But whatever data can be shared, we anonymize it, and then we use it to personalize and give offers to our customers. Anything else? Anybody has any?
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, sir. My name is Jatin Soni from BMHRD, Digital Marketing and Business Analytics. Sir, as you talked about fast learning, so my question is, can you share some strategies for fast learning in a rapid changing industry?
Yes, nice. Great question. So his question was, how can I learn things? How can I learn things fast so that I can make that impact, right? That was your question. So see, there are different strategies for different people, but what I suggest is always try to be open to new things. That can only happen when you read, right? So no matter what your job is, find some time to read about something from books, from other industry articles, from other trade publications, and then make sure that you are making your notes like how you make your notes now, to make sure that whatever you have read is clear in your mind. So first is go read books, capture your learnings, take notes. Second, and probably the most effective way, is whatever you have learned so far, how can you apply it in your day-to-day life? Otherwise, you will forget it. So if you want to apply something in your day-to-day life, you have to come up with some case studies, you have to come up with some real-life examples. In case, in your professional setting, if you cannot do it, you have platforms like LinkedIn. Use LinkedIn to build your brand. Use LinkedIn to talk about something which you feel is not right. Let's say you learned, all of you know Porter's 5 forces, right? All of you have learned it. If I ask you to apply it for Uber, can you do it? If I ask you to apply for Zoom or Microsoft Teams, can you do it? So these are certain things in real life as you learn. If you're not getting chance to apply in your professional life, try to apply it in other platform, other use cases. Go and talk about it, go and read about it. You will also build your brand. Third, and the most important thing that I always suggest is, as you have learned and as you have applied certain things, you should also try to teach and share your learnings. That is the best way of making sure you're not forgetting what you are doing. So once you join a company, once you have learned something new, attend these kind of meetups, these kind of conferences, share whatever knowledge you have gained with your friends, your family members, with your colleagues, or with your peers, right? So just try to do all of this, then you can learn things fast, and then you can learn things fast without forgetting, and then you can also apply them. Yes.
Hello. Good afternoon, sir. My name is Vidhi Pathak, specializing in product management and business analytics from BIMM.
Sure.
And my question to you is, with the advent of AI, how can product managers leverage it to step up the ladder in the professional life?
Sure. Great question. So it's super helpful, right? AI is super helpful, especially for product managers, and I'll give you one very simple example. So as a product manager, your first objective is always to build something for someone, right? That's what product management is all about. But to know whether you are building the right thing, you have to do a lot of research. Understand your market, understand your customers. Are you doing proper segmentation? Do you understand your customer's persona? How will you do it? You will do it by doing your research. You have to do a lot of primary research. But sometimes, let's say in enterprise B2B setting, I can't go and talk to a company that, hey, tell me about your strength, tell me about your interest. I can't build a company's persona because they won't really tell me this. So in enterprise B2B, you have to do a lot of secondary research. Now, with the help of AI, what you can do is you can do a lot of this secondary research very easily because now you have access to data which can be collated and presented to you in a manner using which you can save your time. So one primary use case of AI which I really like is helping me in my secondary research by getting data from 10 different sources and presenting it to me so that I can understand it, I can learn it very fast. That's one. Second, another use case which is helping a lot with AI, especially in product management, is making sure your product's messaging and positioning is clear. So we have a lot of marketing students here as well, right? You have built a cool product, but if that product is not pitched correctly to the customers, nobody will use it. How many of you have used Google Glass? Nobody, right? Have you seen anybody using Google Glass? Nobody. So that doesn't mean Google Glass was not a good product. It was a world-class product, but the messaging and positioning was not correct. As a consumer, I don't feel any need to have a glass using which I can blink my eyes and I can book my tickets. Not fancy, right? But Google Glass is very well used by people who are working on assembly line, doing the same thing again and again, or doing fixing and manufacturing. They use Google Glass a lot because now I can see the manual and I can follow it in the real time. So sometimes your messaging and positioning, you can make it better by pitching your idea to some of this AI tool or Gen AI tool and ask them to validate your idea and make sure you are pitching it in a right way so that customers understand your value proposition. So two things. One is your research. Second is all your GTM, go-to-market, messaging and positioning is where AI can save a lot of time for you.
Also, I would like to add on to this. You mentioned about empathy, right? And we also know that how empathy is very important in product management and design thinking. So, with the advent of AI again, how you mentioned that secondary research can be done through AI, but AI lacks empathy, and we all know that. So, how can we bridge the gap?
Yes. So take AI just like any other tool. AI to me is like Excel spreadsheet or PowerPoint, right? It's just one of the tools. End of the day, as a product manager, you will have to go and empathize with your customers only when you talk to them. But before that, you need to get some homework done. I cannot empathize if I don't even have anything to get their feedback, right? I was talking about this entire Book My Show event. I'm sure all of you know Coldplay tickets. Now, how will I empathize? I have a world-class product, Book My Show world-class product, but if my customers are not able to use it, what's the point? So then you have to really take data, you have to talk to your customers. So use AI just as a tool to give you data points, using which now you can go and meet and interact with your customers because, as you said, only you can empathize with them. So just use it like any other tool and nothing beyond it at this point. Sure. Perfect. I don't know how much time do I have, but I am free to take more questions if there are any. So I guess no questions. So I hope all of you found my session insightful, useful. I really loved it because when I was preparing for it, I was really thinking, how can I make it, as you said, how can I empathize with students and present them something which will help them? So if you feel any of my presentation slides or any of my talks really help you, I really, really appreciate it. And feel free to reach out if you need any other help. Perfect. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, sir. May I now request Dr. Nilesh Kharche, sir, Assistant Professor, to felicitate Mr. Mathur, sir, with a memento.
We will now be having a quick 5 minutes break. To all the students that are still sitting here, there are two QR codes shown on the screen. Please scan the QR code and give us your valuable feedback. Thank you.
I want to announce something. बोले क्या? जानवी वर्मा.
I would like to welcome our esteemed guest, Mr. Arvind Warrior, Lead People and Culture at Volvo India. I would like to request Professor Geetu Varyani ma'am, Senior Corporate Relation Officer, to welcome Mr. Arvind Warrior sir with a bouquet of flowers. Now, I would like to call upon stage Sharmishta Pillai, Student Manager, BITM, to introduce Mr. Arvind Warrior.
Thank you, Rohit. Good morning, all. I'm Student Manager Sharmishta Pillai from Balaji Institute of Technology and Management, Sri Balaji University, Pune, interned at Force Motors. It is my privilege to introduce Mr. Arvind Warrior, sir, Lead People and Culture, Volvo India, an extraordinary HR leader with 18 years of diverse and distinguished experience. From information technology to manufacturing and pharmaceuticals, Mr. Arvind Warrior, sir, has led mission-critical projects in both Indian and multinational companies, consistently bringing a strategic perspective that bridges business goals with human capital excellence. Sir was earlier associated with companies like Infosys, Novo Nordisk, Timken, and others, where he was driving entire gamut of HR interventions. Sir pursued his education in PGDM, HR and Marketing from Bhavan's Royal Institute of Management. As the Lead People and Culture, Volvo India, Sir is a driving force behind fostering innovation, employee engagement, and leadership development. His specialities range from talent management and organizational development to leadership coaching and HR audits. Beyond the boardroom, he is a motivational speaker and a trusted advisor to top business schools, inspiring the next generation of leaders across the country. His accolades at Infosys include the prestigious Infosys Excellence Award within 5 months of joining Infosys, the Sport Award at the HRD level, Excellence Award for driving unit-level employee engagement initiatives at Infosys, and the Best HR Award at the Trivandrum Development Center. A leader who not only navigates complex business landscapes, but also empowers those around him, Sir embodies the future of HR leadership. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Arvind Warrior, sir.
Fine? Okay. Perfect. Tell me. Okay, good. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Fantastic. So, very good afternoon, my dear leaders, dreamers, and doers. So, with your permission, can I come down? I'm not okay with this, okay? Fine, thank you. Okay, thank you. Okay, slides, if you can.
Okay, so very good afternoon. How was the previous sessions? Amazing, fantastic. Okay, so one thing very important is I am not talking to students of BIM, I am talking to leaders, dreamers and doers. So most important thing is there is something called opportunity cost, right? I cannot waste your time. You can do better things than being in this hall. Don't worry about the faculties here, right? Opportunity cost is very important. So before I start, what are your set of expectations from this session? One thing I'll just make it clear, I am in between the lunch. Finish it fast. Don't put us to sleep. Anything else? Speak. I'll give you chocolates also. Yeah? Any sort of expectations from this session? Because most important thing is, when I'm addressing leaders, I cannot waste their time. So what are your expectations from this session? Raise your hands. I will ensure the mic reaches you. What are your set of expectations from this session? Yes, ma'am. So first and foremost, I'll give you chocolates. Okay, ma'am. Okay. Oh God, looks like you're already asking for a job. Very dangerous. Okay. Culture is, okay. I'll take it offline. Okay. And then I'll sell my company better for you. I'll do that. Okay. Thank you. Culture is very important. Thank you very much. I'll do that gyan later after this. Thank you very much. Good start. Any other questions? Most important, let's kickstart in that case. Why are you all here? No, it's very important because, no, I'm addressing leaders, so I need a fantastic or a very important answer. Why are you all here? Not listening to my gyan, leave that nonsense. Anything more? Placement. Oh, madam, very dangerous. Okay. Okay, chocolates are there. Thank you very much. You own first set of chocolate. Ma'am, I don't know whether it will reach there. Okay, fine, good. Okay, fine. Before I get thrown out, my time is very limited, but I'll just start. Good. It's not working. That side, is it? Okay. Or else you can help me in moving it. That's okay. Okay, what we are going to do is, I cannot while away my leader's time. What we are going to do is, as rightly said, I'm just making you think, because at the end, MBA schools is all about thinking, right? It's not about teaching. So my objective when I'm addressing all my set of leaders here is just making you think, and most important thing is, anyone for that matter, the whole idea is about getting aware, reflect, and then act. Especially when I have to go and teach, I normally address only these three things. Because after 18, you don't teach, you make people think. So awareness, reflection, and action is what my objective or my selfish thing is in terms of what I plan to give you at least for another half an hour or so 45 minutes, something like that. Okay. Any more expectations from this session? Life, most important thing is, my dear leaders, please don't forget it. Life is all about having right set of expectations and feedback. I'm talking to generations which are going to create more impact in this world. Always in life, let it be with your spouse, let it be with your girlfriend or boyfriend, have lot of good set of expectations and feedback. Because at the end, you only have three important resources with which you play this game called business or management. It's time, effort, and energy, right? And no one should violate your time. That's why I was just asking you any other set of expectations from this session. Everything is right. Don't look at your friends, you're going to live your own set of life. Correct? All this friendship, everything is good, but you're going to live your own set of life. So any set of expectations and feedbacks, not feedbacks, feedbacks you can give anything whatever you want, but any set of more expectations from this session. Shoot, everything is right. God, learning more about emotional question. Emotional question. Emotional question. Okay, that I think I'll come and convince and I'll convince you later. I'll convince you later because I think if ma'am allows me, I'll come and take another session on EQ. But world needs no more EQ. Okay, all my leaders, please understand. World needs something called DQ. I don't know how many of you know about DQ. It's the word which everyone is looking forward for from all the leaders in this room. Decency quotient. Your social quotient is okay. Your emotional quotient is okay. Your IQ is okay. But world needs DQ. Okay. We'll speak on that. After this, I'll try my best to either convince you or confuse you. Fine. Good. More. Any more expectations from this session? Yes, ma'am. I'm coming there. Yes, ma'am. How can you? Yeah, I'm coming. I'm coming. I think mic should be given for all these kind of brilliant questions. How can you? Okay. My slide is enough to confuse you for that. Okay, I'll do that. She's asked for a fantastic question. How can you get ready for the corporate? I'll try my best to convince or confuse her. Any more questions? Good, bad, or ugly? I don't have anything good. Everything is a learning. When I have here early morning, two of your Star Wars called Mayur and Shruti, they gave me a brilliant experience. So it was a good learning for me. Every movement is a movement of truth from which you can learn, unlearn, and relearn. I'll try my best to confuse you. Fantastic. I'll do my best for that. Some of my slides will be something to reflect on. Thank you. Good question. Very good. Now, this is one learning. Nothing comes free in life. Thank you. Thank you very much. So, not one, I have given her 3. Okay, steal it from her. Okay. Got it. That's a fantastic ask. Okay. One important learning for me right now is I am getting old. I cannot walk. Okay, yes. Any more expectations? Okay. Yes, ma'am. You're nearby, people are looking at me very strange. Why are you not giving chocolates? Okay, good. Shoot. Okay, I'll do my best now, give you proper clarity. Post that, you should question me again. Good. Okay. Very important thing, the world is so much cluttered, especially because of this dirty thing. So that you will have to look for. I'll definitely try my best to do that. Next slide. Any guesses what is this? And this is the most important answer. Yeah, Venn diagram, mathematical guys, very good. Good answer. Okay. I have an important question for all my leaders. Most important thing is, wherever you are in life, 3 questions which you should be asking for yourself is, why should someone invest in a brand called you? All my leaders sitting here. Number 2, why should I hire you? And the most important in this so-called social world, why should someone get influenced by you? Fine, that's the answer. And I want all my leaders tomorrow, when you're going for any kind of interviews or any kind of discussions, and when you come to this college, you should be thinking about this. And it is not something which is just simply done. It is not yarn. It is something proven from one of my professors in IIM. So first thing first, most important thing is about 3 P's in life. Any guesses? Sorry? I will never work for you. Very good. People, it's all about you, the so-called brand who is sitting in this room. Promotion, very bad. Personality, very good. More. Okay, I want everyone to just reflect. This is one reason, and this is a reflection, my dear leaders, just take some time out. This is one reason your parents have spent a lot of money, time, effort, and energy in you. So this is all about 3 P's. Place, you? No? Never at all. Who said that? Big round of applause to her. Can you enlighten the world? Mike, please. Mike is not there. Okay. Good. I'll give you chocolates. Purpose. Okay. You give me the mic. Your work, I'll save it. Okay, fine. Purpose. What is the second P all about? Personality. Okay. Much more bigger than that. Power. Oh, who said that? Oh God. Never work for him. Okay. More. Perspective. Brilliant. But that doesn't fit into the context, but superb guess. More. Persuasion. Who said that? Superb. But that is not right. You all know it. Purpose, passion, and your perseverance. Make sense? And the red is a so-called talent spot. I want all my leaders to understand, Shall I? Just a moment of reflection. I'm sure everyone has seen, everyone would be seeing your parents every day. They had only one thing in their life. Their purpose was to ensure their son and daughter should be doing great things in life, not good. I would make the difference called good to great. There's a fantastic book in the library called Good is the Enemy of Great. And I'm speaking to great leaders in this room. So the purpose was greatness, number one. They had passion. You ask them, why did you do all this madness every day? The passion was to see the son and daughter will be doing great things in life. That is passion. Perseverance is all about the hard work, right? Day and night you ask them, why are you slogging this much? What's the use? The answer is, I am doing it for my son and daughter and I want them to be great. So today at least, I want all my leaders to reflect on your purpose, passion and perseverance. And this is one thing which you get hired for. And this comes in your action. Your action speaks more than your words. And I want everyone to understand this. And it's not a gyan. Tomorrow when you're interviewing someone, you will be doing the same thing. And you should only do this. If someone doesn't have a purpose, someone doesn't have a clarity of so-called passion and perseverance, don't hire him or her. Thank you very much. That is called analytics, predictive analytics. Fine, he has done predictive analytics, good. Any guesses about the 5 C's? If 3 P's are something which drives you, what are the 5 C's? And it's all about you all. Fantastic. Who said commitment? Acha, what is a commitment? I will not give you chocolate unless you answer the full thing. Commitment towards person or something else? Commitment towards? Commitment towards? Commitment towards. All my leaders know the answer. Awesome. Commitment to whatever you take up. That's called commitment in action. Fantastic. What are the other 4 C's? Superb. Creativity is taken. Sorry? Compassion. Give him a big round of applause. Who's that? Okay, but it is wrong. But I'm telling you a fantastic answer. But more. Chocolation. Yes. Who said that? Superb. Collaboration. It's called collaborative intelligence. Courage. Very good. Sorry? Choices. More. Courage. What is happening here? One important thing. Don't be MOS, okay? Mobile obsessed souls. You got to answer. Any more? What is about you? Confidence. Okay, what about you? Sorry? Character. Big round of applause to the entire group. Thank you. I'll give you chocolate. Pakka. Okay. Even if I forget, come here, I'll give you chocolates. Okay. Character. Sorry? Clarity. Very good. On what? Sorry? Consistency. Brilliant. More. Curiosity. Oh, wow. Okay. This batch is simply great. Superb batch. More. Okay. Before I get thrown out, backbenchers always create history. Yeah. Courage. Okay, already you have stolen. Good. Career. Arey. No use. Character. Commitment. Collaboration. Arey, give him a big round of applause. Superb. My dear leaders, listen to this. Someone gets hired, even if tomorrow you plan to hire someone, look into something called character. It's a most important thing and it's a blank check. And that's what you have 2 brilliant books in your library called Authentic Leadership. Start reading that, Bill George, worth a read. Authenticity is a cost which you pay more than for your skills, okay? If you don't have skills, world will still be okay for that. But character is a costly affair. Invest in your character. Commitment to excellence. 3 idiots. You only need to look at what Amir Khan says. Chase excellence, success follows. Collaborative intelligence. People, we don't want anyone who is IC, individual contributor. We don't want in any of the organizations is top. That's why in your library there's a fantastic book called Collaborative Intelligence. Start reading it. Character, collaboration, commitment to excellence. What else? Competence. How many of you have heard about T-shaped thinking? And world is moving towards T-shaped thinking. Everyone knows about it. Any guesses? What is T-shaped thinking? And that's what you get hired for. Yes, sir. Simply you raised. Okay. That also needs courage. What is T-shaped thinking? That is called competence, as your friend rightly said. Any guesses? Someone was asking me, what do you get hired for? Yes, ma'am. Leadership? Okay, just give it to her. No worries.
Sir, the leadership training between the small groups.
Little more. It's more broader. T-shaped thinking.
Sir, in the
T-shaped. And this is not coined by me, it is coined by McKinsey. All my great people in this room, you should be knowing it.
Sir, the vertical thinking means as per our syllabus, in the audit.
Don't go by syllabus. Syllabus is always confusing.
Sir, the laboratory.
Don't look at them.
Sir, the laboratory training in which the.
Oh, that is OD. Acha, nahi. That's not that. Okay, still you get chocolates for answering. Very good. Any more guesses? Sorry? That is collaborative intelligence. What is T-shaped thinking? No, I'm sure everyone knows it. And that's what world needs. Knowledge of skills, more. Be a specialist with a generalist mindset. Be a generalist with a specialist mindset. Please take a lot of efforts in building your competence around one of the portfolios. You cannot say that I'll take HR. I cannot say that I know everything in HR. Broad thinking, thank you. Broad thinking, but very important thing is you got to be championing one of your areas. My dear leaders, yes sir. A big round of applause. I'll come. Superb. Thank you. Depth and width of knowledge. Your brilliant mind has said that. Thank you very much. Okay. मैं उसको दे देता हूँ पक्का. Old age. Sir, you come. I cannot reach there, but one for you, others for others. Okay. Yes, sir. अरे ऐसे chocolate नहीं मिलेगा. You have to speak like him. Okay. It's earned. Okay. What is the last one? What is the last one? You all spoke about collaboration, character, commitment to excellence, competence, and what is the most important thing which you leaders do? Who said that? That I don't know. She's asked me what did I say. Big round of applause to her. Communication. Communication. You also said, huh? Acha, I'll give you. Acha. Don't worry, I'll give you. Shall I? Excuse me 1 minute. Shall I? When you say about communication, the most important thing, my dear leaders, never forget it. It's all about being 3 things in life. Remove the F from the KFC and add E into it. Kindness, empathy, and compassion. That's what we are expecting from leaders. And there's a fantastic book in the library called The Mindful Leader and The Compassionate Leader. Please read it if you want. And if you don't want also, you're right. Okay? Invest wisely. Most important, communication helps us to understand whether the person is authentic or not. Today onwards, it's more than this stupid thing. Start investing on your communication also, because that tells you whether the person is authentic. Please understand, you can fool everyone in this world. Don't fool yourself. Be authentic to yourself. No one can teach you that. Fine? What are the 5 I's? The question is, why should someone be influenced by leaders? Yes, sir. Mike, any guesses? Intelligence, assumed. Integrity, fantastic. IQ, brilliant. I think you should give mics, then only we'll have a collaborative learning. Sorry? Initiative, brilliant.
Sir, innovation.
Okay. Now I forgot what should I say. Sorry? Oh,
Sir,
man,
innovation.
Come here. Mic. Where's the mic? Integrity.
Sir, integrity.
Mic is there?
Sir.
Okay. Now we'll do one thing. Mic. Acha, you speak.
Sir, integrity.
Integrity. Okay, fantastic. Innovation, brilliant. Investment. I'll never work for you.
Sir, innovation.
You get up. You get up. Just give us a big round of applause. Okay. Right?
Integrity.
You said something else, no?
Inquisitiveness.
Something else.
Impactfulness.
Your friends are saying that. Okay. Impact. Big round of applause. Superb. You said it.
Inspiring.
Big round of applause to both of them. I'm going to give you chocolate. Thank you. Good job. Right. Any other answers? Ideas? Okay. More. Innovation. That's assumed from a great leader like you. Inspection. Ayo, I will never join you, madam. Don't inspect me. I need autonomy. Sorry? Intention. Who said that? Get up. Sorry? Interest and intellectual. Fantastic. More than that. But one fantastic answer. Intention. Okay, fantastic. Okay. Inclusion, very important. DEIB. Acha, acha. Pakka, pakka. Chocolate, pakka. Okay. Okay. Initiative. Okay, good. I have to give there also. Okay, fine. Shall I? Shall I? Okay. Oh, both. Okay. Very important. I want everyone to connect the dots. I don't know how many of you listen carefully. This is what happens in the world of marketing, and this is something which all my great brands who are sitting in this room should be doing. The question is starting from the last I. Why should someone get influenced by you? It starts with the great thing which your colleague said, he or she in your life gets inspired. Correct? Someone has got inspired by what you are. And that inspiration comes from that great man said about impact. My dear leaders, start looking into three things in your life. Answer is, the question is, why should I hire you? You do only three things. Value, impact and contribution through your words, action and thought. That is impact. For your impact to be right, your intention should be good. That is your behavior. And the most important thing, I, which is there in the top, is called your identity. Correct? That's what your professors have taught you about the personality, traits, and all those things. Never ever fake it. Authenticity is the cost you pay for your throughout your life. So this 5 I's is something which I would request all my leaders to think about, and the 5 C's and the 3 P's. Making sense or nonsense? Sense. Okay, good. Any time in your life, if someone you plan to hire or you get hired, please ask this question of, does he really have the purpose, passion and perseverance in doing great things in life? My dear leaders, you only get hired for VIC, value, impact and contribution. Start investing in that. And that only comes through your action and identity. Other two things are influence and inspiration is the outcome. You cannot inspire everyone. Your deliverables should speak. Your action should speak. Start investing in that. Fine. Next slide. I think I don't know why I'm carrying this. Okay. What is this? I want an MBA answer, not BTech answer or BCom answer. Sorry. I'm talking to leaders. Vision. Superb. Who said that? Okay. You have a fantastic vision. More. I have to. Oh, yes. Sorry, what is this? It's not my slide. It is from McKinsey, so it should make sense to all my leaders. Sorry. For faculties also, I'll be giving chocolate. Ma'am, enlighten the world. You have done it. First chocolate.
This is the interconnected world.
Awesome.
And how the interconnected dynamics will work.
Simply
so you should
superb.
Have the vision to
Big
do
round of
that.
applause. Excuse me, I don't know whether I'll be hiring you or someone will be hiring you at some point of time. The question is, why should I hire you? The answer is, I am masters of correlation. I am not an MBA person, okay? It's all about, you are here in this MBA school to do something called adult learning, experiential learning, and the most important, connecting the dots through something called being masters of correlation. You cannot say that I am a marketing guy, I am an HR guy. Remove that from today. You got to think like you're getting into C-suite. Some of you would be running your own parents' business. Some of you will be building your own business. Some of you will be working for Fortune 500. Start looking yourself as masters of correlation. That's called T-shaped perspective. You cannot say that, "Arey, mereko marketing, I hate marketing." You cannot say, "I hate HR." You got to know anything and everything. And that's what you get hired for. SOM, problem solving, solution oriented mindset. You are not there to become another problem in the organization, right? You are there to solve bigger problems. That's when you get hired for. That is very important thing in life. No one teaches you. Start widening your perspective. Most important thing in MBA, do LOS. Listening, observing, and stealing of, not mobile phones, stealing of ideas. Okay, start stealing ideas. That's what world needs. As long you can listen, as long you can observe and steal, that's very important. And always connect the dots, as ma'am said. Be an integrative thinker. You cannot say that and any case studies or whatever you're going to learn in life, start bringing everything. Even if you have to bring economics, do that. Physics, chemistry, that's how the life is. You cannot be something where I disconnect from anything. Like HR means only HR. You got to connect everything. That's what world needs. And I'm addressing leaders. Fine. Next slide. I will not speak. This is the industry expectations from all the leaders. Okay. Research from two of my professors from Indore, one of my professors from IIT Chennai. World needs this. This is out of 270 executives we found out. Changed a lot, but in general, after doing a factor analysis, these are 11 things which world is requesting all the leaders. All of my leaders here should definitely look into this. Makes sense? I'll not read. Making sense? Right? Especially the last one. Don't, if you have to really do something called outsmart the competition, or if you really want to stand out, there is a book in the library called Stand Out. Take your time in reading that. If you want to do that, really harp on the last corner thing, ability to do the research. Some of you might get into the P&Gs of the world or McKinsey's, XYZs. Never stop learning. Learning, unlearning, and relearning is the key, the mantra. Start doing that. Problem solving, and don't become a problem in the whole things. You get hired for being an SOM, solution oriented mindset. Next slide. So how do we get there? Everyone knows it. Any guesses how do we get there? Anyone wants to see the expectations once again? You all want to see the expectations once again? Once again, can you just go to the back slide, previous slide? Any questions here? You go anywhere in life, these are the important things which they expect you to run once you are inside the organization. Might sound nonsensical, but very important. All my great minds who are sitting with experience, without experience, these are smallest things, which is very important, which creates the impact through your words, action, and thoughts. There is nothing called second chance in the organization. Okay? First instance, first impression, it's about impact, value, and contribution you generate. World doesn't need people who can come and work. World doesn't need people who can come and do job. That's enough. That's over. Its world is about contribution. Fine? Any questions? Fine. Next slide. The slide after this. Make sense? Again, if you have to reach there, what should you be doing? My dear leaders, when you're coming for any kind of interviews, action speaks more than your words. Action speaks more than your words. Correct? So very important, you've got to display a lot of passion. If you are not interested, don't waste your time. You should do something better. Correct? Most important thing in life, you're the person who is in front of you is more intelligent. Whenever you're doing something, put a lot of passion into it. Otherwise, don't waste your time. At the end, don't cheat yourself. Put in a lot of effort and time and energy, and that's called passion. And your projects will be the first thing which they'll be asking for. Put in a lot of effort to understand that. My dear leaders, yesterday night, I don't know, I was talking to Mayur. Can someone just tell me whether you get hired for performance or potential? Very good. Then you need to tell me what is potential. Caliber. Okay. Good. More. I don't want BCom or an MBA answer. I want exceptional answer. Ability to perform is performance. I'm asking potential. You all are my potential leaders. What is potential? Oh boy. Give him a big round of applause. Get up. Okay, he's asking, give me chocolate. Now you sit. Good. What is potential? That is something which you all should think. Tomorrow when you are hiring someone, you don't hire someone for marks. Sorry? And then after your MBA, you don't get hired for marks, okay? That doesn't mean that you should perform bad. Yes? Sorry? Give him a big round. You're a professor now? No, acha, acha. He also needs a lot of this one. Thank you. Risk bearing ability. More. Okay, before you throw me out. Oh, brilliant. What is that called? Experience to learn from the past is called? Okay, experiential learning. Very intelligent. This is what MBA is all about. Confusing and convincing. Very good. You have learned the art. Keep it up. Abilities you're capable of. Good. More. Superb. Unrealized. This one.
Set of qualities which are yet to be developed.
Potential.
Yes,
Are you sure?
Yes, sir.
So then whatever he said is wrong. But no. You then argue with him. Okay. Okay. Little more. The answer is you get hired for potential, and tomorrow when you have to build your team, you'll only hire potential guys. What is potential then? Passion. Okay. More. Passion for lunch. I know everyone's stomach is also doing that. Learning ability, learning agility. Very good. More. Something can be developed. More. Ability to cope up with change. Okay. More. Okay. I will not take up much more time. Can you all write something in your piece of paper? It's called DICE. Any guesses? What is that? Already your friends have already said that. DICE. What is that? Every word, this one is a word. Determination, insight, curiosity, and deep pocket expertise, which is called engagement. Start building on that. When someone is coming here to hire you, you got to express you are a potential candidate who exhibits DICE. Determination to succeed, which is called your resilience and grit. That comes out from your action. That is why passion is very important. And the answer is, I want this job. I desperately want this job. It comes out in your eyes. I is all about the most important thing. Don't give everything to your so-called nonsense called your, sorry, I'm okay, I am blaming about Google or ChatGPT, I'm okay with that. Don't give everything nonsense to this two things, okay? World needs people who can think, which is called insight and curiosity. Insight and foresight. That's what you get hired for. C is asking questions. E is all about deep pocket expertise. If someone has taken HR, I expect him or her to know everything around talent acquisition, talent development, talent engagement, and talent rewards. If someone has taken marketing, I would expect him or her to eat, sleep, and drink Kotler. Someone has taken up operation financial management, eat, sleep, and drink Prasanna Chandra. That's what world needs. Okay, deep pocket expertise. Please don't take it light. The interviewer is more intelligent than you. Fine. Passion. Last but not the second one is sponsor and mentor. You all have seen Check the India, right? Don't take it light. Find your sponsor and mentor today, not tomorrow. There is nothing called tomorrow. And it should never be your uncles or your parents. They will not push you hard. Sponsoring and mentoring is an important thing which is coming up in all kind of Ivy business schools. I'm sure in India also it's coming up. Start looking at it. At least I do sponsoring and mentoring for a lot of students. It's a very important thing. Look up to people who can really push you hard. I sometimes push my leaders at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the night. But finally, it's all about excellence. I will not leave them. I'll definitely ensure they succeed because their success is my measure of success. MOS. My dear leaders, at least from today, you should do something called knowing yourself, which is called me time. I don't know how many of you do this. For that, you should keep this nonsense away, have a lot of water, and start walking without this nonsense called your phone. Me time is where you can reflect what you are. One small exercise which I wanted to do, but I cannot do it now is just, can someone tell me how many strengths normally everyone has in this room? Average. 5. Don't belittle yourself, my dear leaders. How many strengths all of you would have in an average? On an average. 10? Okay. My dear leaders, there is a fantastic book. I'm not here to showcase that I've read it, but it's for all my leaders. There is a book called Now Discover Your Strengths and Strength Finder. Minimum in that book, they say is 32. Anyone from Bangalore? Anyone from Bangalore by choice? Fantastic. Anyone else? Boys? Boys, anyone from Bangalore? Acha, she is pointing someone else there, but he is showing nowhere. Very good. She is saying that guy, but he is saying I am not from Bangalore. Very good. What to say? Okay, most important. There is a college in Bangalore called Jyoti Nivas College. It's a girls' college. That's why I was asking whether boys knows them better than girls. Okay. So I had gone to that college. I had asked, this is very important, and I'll tell you now where she stands. I did the same exercise. I started asking one of the students, tell me about your strengths, randomly. So everyone was struggling. They were not able to even tell me 5 strengths. And I told them to read this book of 32 strengths, which is defined in that book, one of the important books in the world from Marcus Buckham. Now discover your strengths. Please do it for yourself. And 2:17 that Saturday night, I get a call. My wife is quite suspicious that I've got some other affair. This girl called Nandini, who is right now heading capacity planning for Google, she calls me, says that, sir, you are wrong. I have identified 117 strengths of mine. I was blown up. She's coming from Andhra. Her father is an agriculturist. She doesn't have a mother. She has 3 sisters to take care. She said, taking care of my sisters is my strength. Taking care of my father is my strength. Good handwriting is my strength. I take tuitions are my strengths. I was blown out. And she only said, sir, I want to be a talent acquisition expert or a champion in Google, period. Nothing more, nothing less. And by God's grace, she first entered a small job as an executive search. From there, she got a fantastic opening at Google, and now she is heading capacity planning, which is your workforce planning in Google, Singapore. That's the power. She was able to discover herself, and that's called the power of self-awareness. I would request all my leaders to do that. Don't look at your friends for that. Okay, you got to do that self-discovery, because that's something which comes out in the interview. And know your strengths is something which Socrates has been saying it. Knowing thyself is the power. Take up goals. How many of you have done more than 10 projects? Minimum 10 projects. Sorry, not even 2 or 5. Minimum 10 projects. How many of you have done it? Okay, then it's time to reinvent yourself. Okay, challenge is before December finish 50 projects. Okay, 50 projects. You all can do it. Question you all should be asking is projects doesn't mean that you have to go there. I'll tell you one thing. When I'm addressing at IMBs, I can see some of the students saying, I've done closely 111 projects. That means writing a blog is a project. Doing a project with your professors is a project. Writing some of the white papers is a project. Please don't pull yourself back. Writing those things will put you against, or it will outperform among the competition. Start investing in that. Be honest. Honesty is the biggest prize. Be authentic for yourself. The other person in front of you is always intelligent. Always he is intelligent. Okay, sometimes he will make fool of you. Beware. Trust your gut. Start investing. Sometimes your instinct says that I should do it. I should get this job. I should join here. Don't ask so many things from your relatives and anyone. Start doing it. It's a noisy world. It's an unfair world. Listen to this person. He's always right. Next slide. Don't worry. I'll finish it fast. Most important thing in life is starting somewhere. World is so much competitive, or it's hyper competitive. You got to start today. The power of this moment is very important. Nothing happens tomorrow. Sorry. There is nothing called a Shubh Muhurt. Everything has started now. You got to do it now. Challenges. Take up more projects in life. Lot of projects. Don't limit yourself. Intentionality is there. Lot of things are there. But you have to go and ask. Crying baby only gets the milk, and you got to shamelessly do it. If you are not doing it, your competitors are doing it. And your competition is not within this room. If someone feels it, it's wrong. Sharp the axe. Every day it's about learning, unlearning, and relearning, and be there in LinkedIn. But you cannot do the behavior of an Instagram or an Facebook in LinkedIn. You got to be very serious. It's about your brand. Start branding yourself in LinkedIn. No one will tell you this dirty secret. USP, your unique selling proposition, you should be knowing it. That's when you understand what are your strengths and what are you made up of. Start investing on your strengths, not other strengths. If someone is going for marketing, don't say that I'll also take up marketing. Please understand, 5 fingers all are different. You got to invest in yourself. No one will tell you that. Next is networking. Last but not the least, it's called learning, opportunity, disruption, and time. Every night, 2 o'clock, God is giving us this. We got to be secretly, shamelessly stealing it from everyone. Every night, 12 o'clock, it is there. Some people really do it. Some people will say that, okay, chalo, kuch nahi hone wala hai. One person has said some nonsense, kuch bhi nahi hone wala hai. But some people really work on that, because one day gone means next day the competition is going up. Think about it. There's a fantastic video from Serena Williams called Unlimited. If you get time, see it. It will give you some goosebumps. Next slide. Okay, don't worry, things are coming to an end. You cannot say that I'll do everything. Knowing everything is good, but sometimes you got to have hard nose focused. If someone is saying marketing, you got to say digital marketing or what not. Don't do anything and everything. World is so much noisy. Make your choices very crisp and clear, because the other person will get confused. What exactly? I have seen in interviews, sometimes students come and say that I know this, I want to do this. They themselves are confused, and that's the reason they don't get selected. Saying no to many things is very important. Don't accept everything in life. It's your life. Start looking at your life in terms of time, effort, and energy as a brand. Be humble. Be part of some of the NGOs. Okay, life is not within the school or college. It's not. It's beyond the Starbucks, right? Then you will understand you are nothing. You have been part of some NGOs. I don't know how many of you do it. When I joined Infosys, I felt that world is something which I have HR, full partying and all those things in Trandrim. All these awards also I started getting. Then I was so proud. My ego started bloating up, partying. But my manager, she's a VP of IBM. She said she is coming down to Trandrim and she will be taking you to one place, NGO, okay, orphans NGO. It literally changed my life. Okay, one small girl, when we came there, she came and hugged us. No expectations, detached attachment. No expectations. She doesn't have parents. She came and hugged us. Next, when I opened the Ferrero Rocher, normally when you open it, you would have seen everyone coming and jumping. This girl, she just unwrapped it and she had put the whole Ferrero Rocher in both of us' mouth. I was literally blown out. Then I understood we are so self-centered guys. See the power of a girl. She is giving us first and then only she is eating. That's why I understood we are nothing. I would request all my leaders be humble. Start giving back to the society or wherever you can. It's beyond the MBA programs. Okay, that will teach you humility, and humble leaders are very important in this society. It's beyond the mobile phones. It's beyond Instagram. Start working on your so-called personality. That's what humble leaders are required in this world. Self-reflection, do it for yourself. No one can teach you and you cannot buy it from the market. And for that, stop at some point of time, do a lot of reflection. MBA is all about awareness, reflection, and action. Excellence, whatever you speak, whatever you think, and whatever you do, excellence is important. Even if you do something for your friend, bring in excellence. That makes you a great influencer in life. Okay, next slide. Be happy, things are coming to an end. And I really mean it. I'll not speak about it. 5 P's again before I end. You will be always known in your life for the purpose you bring to the table. You'll always be known for the process, the way you do things. You would have seen in your life there are some people who have very rigid habits and good discipline. It's a mindset. In organization also you get respected for that. And people, especially if you are planning to work for Swedish brands, IKEA, ABB, Volvo and all, process speaks about people. Start investing in that. People, at the end, it's all about collaboration. You cannot do anything alone. Start working in teams. And team means you've got to be a collaborator. Start bringing KEC into picture. Kindness, empathy, and compassion. Most important thing is called presence. How do you bring your presence? It's your communication. It's not about wearing a Louis Vuitton and other stuff. How do you bring in your presence is very important. The way you speak, the way you think, and the way you do. Last but not the least, peace. Yesterday, Shruti was asking me this question late night at 12:15. Arvind, do you really have peace? The answer I said is I don't have peace. Okay, but peace is very important. That is called mindfulness, right? World is so much distracted. Have some time for yourself. Fine? So I will not speak much about that because I myself, I don't have it. Next slide. Okay. This is one of the important things. I will not read it out. One of the important reads about BCG, World Leads Generative Leaders. If someone is interested, I'll give you a copy of this. I'll not read this. Don't worry. Next. And this is what world is required. This is the article which I want to share. I'll share it. By mistake, it came up. Last slide. Be happy. It's a reflection time. Yes. Done. Be happy. Next slide. But before I end, okay. Don't worry. I'll leave. Don't clap now. Okay. Next slide. Okay. So I am humbled and honored. Very important thing. Last slide, kuch hai? Okay. Fine. Now we would like to play the video and speaker should be very good. Okay. See this? I am sure some of you would have seen this brilliant ad of Nike. It's a reflection ad. Okay. Volume.
Listen up, babies.
लाइट ऑफ कर दीजिए एक और बार स्टार्ट कर लीजिए लाइट ऑफ कर दीजिए, एक और बार स्टार्ट करते हैं. फाइन, यू कैन लिसन. ओके, फुल स्पीकर डाल दीजिए. Lights also you can switch it off, whatever the protocol is. It's about you, listen to this carefully. Don't do side business. Last.
Listen up, babies. Life's not fair. You get no say in the world you're born into. You don't decide your name. You don't decide where you come from. You don't decide if you have a place to call home, or if your whole family has to leave the country. Yeah, it's messed up. You don't decide how the world judges a person like you. You don't decide how your story begins, but you do get to decide how it ends. Yes!
One minute. Okay, so thank you. Makes sense? So humbled and honored, wishing you and your family happy Diwali and Dashara. God bless and do great in life, not good. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now the floor is open for Q&A.
Good afternoon, sir. Really loved your session today. It was really energetic and very inspiring. So I wanted to ask you, as you told about the importance of authenticity and being original, as we are going into the corporate, we all know that the corporate doesn't work with being original. It can be diplomatic sometimes. So what do you suggest? How should we go into that situation? Should we show our authenticity or should we change according to the situation?
Superb. Big round of applause to her. Good question. I don't know how many of you have really reflected on that fantastic question. If you are not authentic, and if you have to really show up something different, because then you have something called burnout and stress coming into your life. If your authenticity or your authentic self is different, let's say you have to showcase and you have to smile when there is no smile required. You lose on something called your identity crisis. And in MBA, it is called identity crisis. There's a book also, okay? Identity crisis means finally you will start evaluating yourself less, your confidence will come down, you will have burnout, stress, and finally you will not get jobs elsewhere. Never ever do that. When you have identity crisis, it's better to leave that place because you are not representing your original identity or authentic identity. And if you have it, every time faking means, then it will burn out. And don't do that. I don't know whether I confused or convinced you. Thank you. Super question. And that's a common thing, but you have to put a full stop wherever it is required. Any more questions? Exhausted, I know that. Done? Happy? Okay, then I'll go and sit there. I'll not disturb. Thank you.
Sir, one very general question for you on behalf of the students. They didn't ask, but I will ask. I can't keep quiet.
Thank you very much.
The question is, sir, they will be starting off their careers now. Now, some of them are experienced and some of them are freshers. But as you know, when a rail changes the track, it has to slow down. So, what do you think will be the biggest challenges they will face when they enter this world?
Superb. Looks like AI has already given an answer on my behalf. Most important challenge which you're going to face is how do you fight against the so-called system, the so-called AI, okay? I don't know whether I spoke about something called ICE. I was just speaking to one of the faculties this morning. Start working on ICE from today at least. Start harping on something called imagination, curiosity, and empathy. Your AI, DLs and MLs of the world are good, but when you're going for an interview or tomorrow when you have to be there in an organization, when you have to write a policy, when you have to work on a sales strategy, you can give all those things to your ChatGPT, but at the end, your boss expects something called creativity that only comes from doing something called ICE. Imagination, curiosity, and empathy. Start investing a lot about yourself on those three areas. Other things you can outsource to AI ML, but don't outsource your imagination, curiosity, and empathy to the system. That is something God has given to you as a gift, and that's one reason you are seeing new versions of ChatGPT also coming up. Because someone is imagined. Someone has already asked a question, why not? And someone literally looked into a problem called empathy. That's why you're seeing it. Start working on these three areas, because knowledge and skills, you can take it from all these places. Imagination, insight, foresight, you cannot. You have to build it. That's why you get hired for all these big companies also. Superb. I don't know whether it's right. First 3 years is what I would say. First 3 years, start looking into something called learning. After that, remove that L. Correct? Earlier we used to say 5 years, but now it's only 3 years. Because I'm talking to Generation Z and millennials, but minimum 3 years, you need to understand the trick of the trade. Sales guys and marketing aspirants in this room, start taking up sales jobs, be there at least for 5 years, okay? It's a humble request, because then only you understand what exactly happens in the world of marketing and branding. If someone is expanding directly into marketing and branding, that's a wrong choice. Don't do that. My humble request is minimum 3 to 4 or 5 years slog. Understand what is the pain point, understand your customers, understand the product, everything, that 7 P's of life, and then you move forward. Otherwise, it's going to be a problem. Job hopping is not that much. Even at this age, we don't expect people to have it. At least we do cross-checking of that. Thank you.
May I now request Dr. Rajeshwari Patil Ma'am, Deputy Director, BITM, to felicitate Mr. Arvind Warrior Sir with a token of appreciation.
just settle down. 2 minutes, all of you. Please settle down. अरे all of you थोड़ा पीछे जाओ ना. Guest is here यार अभी भी. थोड़ा from this side, vegetarian, please go from here. Non-vegetarian, go from that side. Just wait, na segments wait. यार थोड़ा नीचे crowd हो जाएगा. Let's control it properly. Just wait, all of you. The guest is outside, so we'll have to wait for 1 minute. We will all assemble back at 2 o'clock. It's 1:30.